So good morning. I don't think there's too much other than match breakdown today to talk about. We'll take some general questions at the end. This should be a little bit shorter episode just because it's only 3 matches instead of 4. So we should be able to do this within 2 hours. So this is going to be a pretty good episode, I think. So for the first match, we can skip the intros. We can go straight to the vetoes. So we talked about our match predictions yesterday, right? And first of all, just want to let you know, I sounded confused yesterday. It was all part of the plan. I went 3-0 match predictions, someone should fucking sign me. But, yeah, so these matches went as predicted for us when we were talking about it yesterday. I thought they'd be a little closer sometimes. But, yeah. Okay, so watching this was painful, and I'm not an NYSL fan. It's tough, man. Like, we talked about these videos. So you're New York, New York, you're terrible basically at all hardpoints right now. You can't win a hardpoint to save your life. Berlin is probably, London's best map, so you get rid of Berlin. That's understandable. But then you still have to play Gavutu. So, like, you're in a pretty tough spot if you're New York because you're not winning anything. Gavutu is probably the map that they're potentially, like, okay playing with. The hardpoints are just tough, man. Like, right now, they can't get anything going. They're not, like, as a team, they're not playing hardpoints well. And, like, they're making them close, and then they're, like, dropping the ball, losing the match. So it's just, like, this is just a tough match. Even if you're playing London with a fill-in, and people are saying, like, this is tough to watch. Obviously, NYSL doesn't look good. At the same time, like, NYSL just picked up Neptune again, and in my opinion, this could be wrong. There's no way that roster is, like, in good spirits, even after, you get rid of Neptune, you drop him, you throw him to the side, and then you bring him back. And I don't know if it was because he's not the smartest player or they didn't get along or whatever it was. No one has any idea why for the most part. Like, Neptune's not going to be, like, stoked, to be back on the team. He's going to be stoked to be back in the league, but he's not like, yeah, these are my fucking brothers. They're not going to be, like, in that, like, fucking super motivated and positive atmosphere. So, like, I don't know. Like, that, even though London has a fill-in, I feel like London with a fill-in has more of, like, a good-spirited team still because they're doing well, and, like, Gizmo's really good, but Paul's also a good player to replace for now, and, like, there's just a different vibe between the two, So I don't think, like, them losing to London with a fill-in is, like, super, like, embarrassing or crazy, just because right now New York's kind of in the same boat, but in a way worse way. Obviously, New York is just right now the worst team. Like, they're not, like, compared to London, they're just not that, good. But, yeah, you guys said they should have played Berlin. I see why they vetoed Berlin. I don't know NYSL's scrim sheet, so I'm just not sure if, like, Berlin is just a map in their pool. Like, what if, in their scrims, like, they just get slammed on Berlin left and right? Like, you have no, like, I don't know. So, yeah, it's just tough. So they're obviously in a bad spot, but these are the vetoes. And then Search and Destroys, you get rid of Berlin. I'm pretty sure when we were looking over it yesterday, that's like a London's good map. They get rid of Tuscan SND. You got Bocage and Desert Siege, whatever. Like, again, like, London's just a really good team, so you're kind of picking your poison here. They're still not a bad Siege team either. And then Control, they get rid of Tuscan. They play Gavutu. So these vetoes don't really bother me. Just in the sense, I just think NYSL was, I think London was winning this match no matter what. Like, I don't know, on Gavutu, I feel like Clay and Crim should be having, but that's not my opinion. Yeah, you say that on maps like that, like Gavutu and all this other stuff, but a lot of the times, like, maps don't always play out like that. Like, sometimes they do, but they don't always. And then it's just in general, like, when you're making vetoes, you could always say, like, oh, this team should have vetoed this, oh, this team should have vetoed that. Like, in the sense of it, it's like, what if, like, New York scrim sheet, like, Berlin is by far and beyond their worst map, and then London's best map is Berlin. So then you get Berlin, I don't know. The vetoes are tough to really be, like, sure about sometimes, just because you don't know, like, the behind the scenes of stuff. But at the same time, I don't know. I think NYSL is just fucked here. Aren't you FaZe coach? Why are you breaking down other teams' decision making? What does that matter? I'm breaking down decision making that is, like, totally obvious to anyone. I'm not like I'm giving you insight of, like, how like what teams do. Like, in a sense of that, like, in a very basic level. Like I just said, I don't know behind the scenes of the camp and stuff. I don't know what that is. But yeah, let's watch this match, dude. Trust me, the insight that I can go 1,000% fucking deeper into it if I want to. I'm just not gonna do that. And I also really never talk from the FaZe coach's standpoint about this. I just talk about like a COD fan. Why is Stellium so sexy? I don't know, dude. He was born like that. All right, this is kind of low, right? What's the ping on matches? I'm not sure. I don't think you can see the ping. That's something you'd have to ask the players. Depends on what server they play on, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Not sure. All right. So I'm pretty sure this map starts out. Okay, cool. Sorry, you can tell the CDL to bring back SND strat segment before matches in MW. I don't know if I can do that. I don't have that kind of power, but maybe. All right, so let's see. All right, let's watch through this real quick. NYSL gets a little sign of life. Afro shuts it down with a 2E. It's just like this isn't a very close map if I remember correctly. I actually was like, you know, remember when these matches are going on, my team is scrimming too, so you know I'm not really like as locked into this match as I am with my own team scrim and shit. So like sometimes, you know, I miss some moments. So like some of this is new to me, but like you could just see right here, like dude, look at London and then look at like New York, dude. Like look at number 3 on London, like which is Paul X, like. London's controlling the pace of the game. They have scrap time. They have spawns for P3, and they have rotation. Like, we talked about this a lot, like just in general in Hardpoint. Like when you're a Hardpoint team, dude, and like you're behind on rotation, and then you're also not getting scrap time, which is something that sounds like, you know, kind of crazy to hear, but it's really easy. Like, dude, like Paul X beats them on rotation. They still have 3 guys like by this old hill. Like NYSL isn't like doesn't rotate, and like they're also in spots where like they're just making this game like really hard on themselves. And like when you're playing a good hardpoint team like London, and you are playing from like your heels in a sense, and you're not controlling the pace of the game, and you're letting them control the pace of the game, like, whew, you're gonna be in a tough spot. And that's like why, like, you know, moments like this happen where I feel like you're here, dude. You're like, fuck, dude. They're about to get another full 60. We're already down 70 to 20. You know what I mean? Like. Wow. Yeah. It's just like tough, dude. Like look where you are if you're NYSL. Like you skip forward. Like even here now too. It's like this is the worst part too. It's like even at this moment, it's like we got spawns again. 35 seconds left. Now you're spawning back here. The next hill's all the way over here. London does a good job of pushing out beach, and then NYSL takes middle, but they flip themselves by doing it, and then like boom. Like this can get scary too. I forget how this actually plays out. Yeah, like look, number 4, which is Afro, just spawns there, and like now he's like in a spot where he can win this rotation again. Like, dude, this is just tough. Where like London is controlling this game and more, where you need to really get like kills and like very like, you know, take yourself out of this, and it's gonna be kind of hard to do so. AKA get through a lane. I don't know if he gets caught though. Does he get caught? I'm pretty sure he does. Oh no, he shoots though. Yeah, bro, this is snowball on top, and then you got the pinch. Oh my god, bro. So skipping forward. Here, the one thing I will say is if like you do this right and you get these kills in the hill, you can trap London in the back. So like this isn't the worst situation to be if you're NYSL, but it's also like, you know, risky at the same time. Who listening?
Hydra's actually back there. I got one. Plays close. Plays actually. Nice. Pushing us out. Looking for I'm pushing out. Look for that, guys. Look for that. One's top broken.
Top broken, you said?
Yeah, two broken, two cross. Alright, Marcus, I'm top, okay? I'm going top 3.
Left side of time. I'm dropping up.
I don't think tank dead.
Nice. Red tag,
Nice.
yeah.
Nate on.
One shot, guys. Nice.
I need to
Look for next. Top out, Neppy.
Oh, my bad, bro.
Nice spawn.
Nice, guys.
Get some.
They're all spawned. Let me cluster ready.
Yeah, he's on me. I'm lying down. Can you help me?
Yeah, I'm coming. Sit down. I need over.
Start away.
He's in hole.
That time, okay. Nice.
Got him.
One more. One more
Red tank.
I'll kill him, red tank.
He's at new. Someone. He's
Red tank dead.
Broken.
Good job. I reopened time, Marcus. I'm going P1. Yellow, Crim dead.
Nice.
Listen, get
Afro's so good, dude.
Yeah. Help him cage.
One shot. Hydra.
I
give him up. Yo, one's mid. Throw me.
Cage, grab me cage.
Hydra, me, guys. Push him out.
It's a good time, Marcus. Help me on
I
this.
left him mid. Two. I got one.
Right,
One shot. Two new, guys. Two new.
Down. Cross, Clay. Hey, weak.
I'm trying to help you, Paul. He's not peeking me.
Behind me, top broken now. He left you, bro. He could be just cage.
I got low.
There's two. Listen,
No, one's on me front, Clay.
one's hit mid tank. He's gonna pinch our side.
I need help.
One shot. Five tank now, okay?
One's on me front. He can be out on you.
The Ravens are
So like really quick, first of all, Afro's disgusting. Yes, I agree. Second of all, like that entire listen-in, we talk about communication a lot in this stream just because like I'm a big fan of it and obviously just how important it is, etc., etc. But dude, like right here, like you hear in this listening, like how organized they seem in the sense of you heard in the beginning when they were pushing this P5 how they're sitting there saying like, yo, Neptune's the last one, Neptune's the last one, Neptune's the last one. Like they're still looking for Neptune kind of thing. They did that this entire time. They were rotating the P5 and doing stuff like that in a game like MW. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of you guys obviously don't play at the professional level. But even if you play at the ranked level, if you noticed how like hard it is sometimes to keep track in a game like this with like the kill feed and how fast paced things are going and like how everything can get fucking nuts, like counting down, like, you know, looking for Neptune, like that's the best way to know when you officially get 4 dead. And when you officially get 4 dead, you know, no one's behind you. You know, no one could have spawned behind you. No one could have done, you know what I mean? Like there's so much to do, like where it like really saves you on these rotations in a game like this, especially with squad spawn. So like that is 1000% like the most impressive stuff when teams are able to do that. And like sometimes you know, sounds easy, it's easier said than done, like when you're counting kills like that in the middle of a match while focusing. And then like when they're holding here, dude, like they're all talking about what can be open. Like you heard he's like, yo, he could be outer on you, he could be outer on you, he could be outer on you. Like look, no one's really watching outer, so they're saying he could be outer on you. So then this guy turns and is able to watch his outer. Like there's no openings where they're gonna let like someone through and screw you over, you know what I mean? So they play this really well, and their listening is just like good. So it was just like that was just an overall good listening in every way. And like they're controlling the pace of this game to the point where this game is not over, but yeah. So now we'll listen then into the New York NYSL listening here. This is gonna be a different one, obviously.
Up the ramp. After
Oh, he's already there. I got traded. He's weak. That side.
I spawned out.
Tell me. Everyone nade.
Side, zero.
Afro's gonna be your beach.
He's inside. Yeah. One's gonna be beach. Push out beach. Afro RDR1.
Double
Alex.
Hoppo got me. Yo. Okay. Just rotate new right now. One's on beach.
Yeah, he's on a rock.
Yeah. We can still bring this back. Everyone.
Push out P5 maybe.
Everyone rotate.
No, it's R1. R1 nasty.
Everyone rotate. P5.
Nice.
R1.
He could be pitching. He's R3.
Top boat.
Nasty. Top boat. Nice. I'll throw that. Last one's old.
Yeah, we can still do this easily.
That old wig.
Yeah, he's already gonna be a little more. Yeah.
You can push off that. Push off
Yeah,
that.
push off.
One stun top ring.
I'm stunning over your Ivy.
I got the guy old.
Still Marok. One shot Marok.
I don't know about you, Jay, but I'm not buying it. It just doesn't sound like they're there. It just, I mean, what, you heard a few moments where Krim, in his voice.
So like the thing I'll highlight there, and you know, take this with a grain of salt because NYSL is currently down to 11-68. So you know, it's a tough one to, you know, be listening and have that listening like happen. But either way, first of all, like you can't just give up in hard points, right? So even if you're saying like they're down a lot of hard points, and like I mean they're down a lot of points in this hard point, blah blah blah, like you still could always bring it back. And like Krim was not wrong. Like you can still bring it back, and it's happened plenty of times. Plenty of times before. The only thing that was like weird is like when Krim's saying like, you know, everyone rotate. It's just like there's nothing happening. You could hear it between London, and again, they're firing on all cylinders. They're smoking the shit out of this team right now, so it's a little bit different of an atmosphere. I get it, but like when they're pushing the rotate, Krim's saying everyone rotate, and there's no other words like said other than like, got him. All right, I got 2. Like they're just like saying who they killed. Like you know, where are we rotating? Are we going bottom cages? Are we sliding together? Yo, I'm going to slide and look top boat. Help me out. Yo, they're going to be propane. Make sure we check. Like, there's no like small talk of like what the plan is on the rotation, or like, yo, you guys rotate. I'm going to make sure I'm going to make sure they don't pinch us. Like, there's just like nothing of like what's being held, what you need to watch. And when you're breaking and stuff, for example, you know, like if number 2 got pushed up all the way over here on the mini map and you're breaking from this way, it's like if you're just running at this aimlessly rotating, like, you know, you gotta like talk the game plan in my opinion. And I feel like there was no like, I feel like it was super quiet. Granted, they're down 200 points or whatever. They're getting absolutely slammed. I understand that, but at the same time, like you know, I say this to my players a lot, and I say this to everything. And this is so much easier said than done. Trust me, I've checked out myself when I was a pro too. I've had moments in that, you know, like I've had moments like that. But like the easiest thing to do is call out. Like, it really is. And, like, call out and small talk and do all that stuff. Like, you know, oh, they're spawning here. I'm spawning here. It's like, you never really do know. You know what I'm saying? So, it sounds like that sounded super defeated. And that sucks to hear. Again, I'm sure their atmosphere is fucking horrible right now. So, like, at the same time, it's kind of hard to, like, be super critical about that part because they're down so much points and their team's obviously struggling. But, hey, you know. Like, Krim was trying. Krim was trying to say, like, they're bringing him back. You know, Krim was, he's like, we could still do this. We could still do this. Everybody rotate. It's like, you never know. You could still do it. You really could. But obviously, you know, things just were not going their way. They were not getting their kills. And then, you know, skipping forward here, this doesn't look that good. But then here's a little sign of life. You know, New York starts to bring it back here. Like, again, like you could still slowly do this. And then, of course, you're going to have to do something pretty crazy here, which is probably not going to happen. But yeah. So overall, that first map was personally, that was London's map to win. They're the better hardpoint team. On top of that, they're just like in a better spot. Let's key to the victory here. New York Subliners have to get on the board in hardpoint. That's obvious. Rebound opportunity. Sorry, I dropped my phone. Rebound opportunity for Neptune, 0.76 KD in the 7 maps. So yeah, like if they're bringing him back too, they want him to do good, right? You know what I mean? So like they want him to do good. They're bringing him back to be more of a superstar player. So like he needs to, like, you know, step it up in the sense of that. Still a tough situation to be in with this team kind of seeming like they're broken right now. And then work on the retake situations in SND. Last in neutral retakes 29%. So okay. So if you're, you know, an NYSL fan here and you're going into a Desert Siege SND, I mean, these keys to victory are fine. Like, that's nothing crazy. Hold up. Where is it? Why does it take it so long? Here you go. So this Desert Siege S&D is the one thing you're probably going to need to win if you're NYSL, because if you win this, then you can, you know, take a control, because NYSL is not that bad at control if I remember correctly, right, chat? I can go look at the stats, but I'm pretty sure when we were looking at their stats yesterday, their control is not terrible, if I remember correctly. Like, it's not like it's not stellar, but it's pretty, like, you know, it's like it's doable where they can win a control. So it's like, you know, you need to try and win this search and then actually potentially go up 2-1 in the series. And this like, it doesn't go their way. This is also a really good Desert Siege team. So yeah, skip forward here. Hold up. Sorry, 1 second. All right, there we go. 3-3 in this season in control. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's doable. Like, London is undefeated in this map. I'm pretty sure London's like 2-0 in this map. We choked the 5-1 to London at this event, and they beat us 6-5 at the last event. They beat us 6-5, and I'm pretty sure they were 1-0 before that. So that makes them 2-0. I want to say they're 2-0 right here, without looking at the stats. John McLean, thank you very much for the 10 months. I appreciate it. And also everyone else, Nada and DT, thank you very much for the resubs too. Okay. So skipping forward through this, again, this match was kind of just like nothing too crazy if I remember. There weren't any like super key moments here. So yeah, like 4-2. This goes 4-3. 5-3. We'll watch this last round. There you go. There we go. Oh, no, he doesn't get that kill? That's tough. I thought Hydra was going to get that kill. even here, just this last round, like Crimstick starts off with the first blood, and then like it just like it looks so crazy, like, you know, again, like with the plan kind of thing. It just looks like the plan's like weird, you know, like they're in a 4-on-3. He tries to get a pick, so I like this, but it just like looks so separate. I don't know. This is tough. Yeah, Krim gets left in a 1v2 after all that. Like, this should have definitely been NYSL's round, you know? Yeah. So this is the Surge stats, if you want to see the Surge stats right now. Neptune 6-6, 5-6, 3-7, 9-7. But, I mean, stats don't really tell the full story of the Surge, just in the sense of, like, you know, doing things together and shit. But yeah. Going to the next map. Oh, Roy T. So now, this map, if I remember correctly, doesn't London go up 2-0? Doesn't London go up 2-0 in this map? And then does New York bring this back and win this? Yeah, they do, because then they go to Tuscan Hardpoint. So London trolls this map pretty bad. The 2-21 happens? Yeah. All right, so here, we can skip forward this because I want to watch the Tuscan. But like, look, so the weird thing is first of all, right now we'll still talk about control because it's still kill based and not tick based, even though it's going to tick based. So you still have to play like a tick based game. Like really quick, watch. So like here, we're just going to count the lives. Like the only thing the players can see, remember, the players can't see like their deaths. The players can't see actual kills. The only thing you can see is right here. But this doesn't account for team kills and stuff. But still, like this is like the best way you can do it. So at the end of this right now, Crim6 is the last man up. It's a 4-on-1. And obviously London is winning this offense. And if London is winning this offense, this is huge, first of all, for London to take an offense on this man. So it's a 4v1. They cap the point. And now London is up 3 lives, right? So then London goes up 3 lives here. Skip forward, because again, this wasn't anything too crazy. Go to the end of this first round. So now London is up 3. And now London is up, what's it called? Now London is up another fucking 7. So that's 10 lives. 10 lives right now. Keep going. So hold up. So London is up 10 lives. And now NYSL brings it back. Ready? NYSL brings it back to 10. So NYSL goes 5. So now they're up 5. London is up 5. So going into this round, London is up 5. In my opinion, like, I know they get absolutely slammed here, and I didn't get to watch this, so I'm about to watch this live with you guys. I'm going to give you kind of like my live reaction. What the fuck happens here that it goes 2-21? Like, do they just get trapped? Because I was watching a scrim, and I looked back at my monitor, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Let me see. So right now, London is up 5. So realistically speaking, even if they have a bad defense, they can still get defense again. You know what I mean? Like if they play it smart. But I want to see if it's like a thing of that, or they just kind of get smoked. I want to see.
Yeah, and all these kills for Neptune could be big. Right now sits at 12 and 20. It's got to improve. All those up close fights with the SMG. Krim looking to pressure things out, and with that as well, New York winning some of their.
All right, so New York's showing some life here. Zero said on the flank he takes full responsibility for this map because his comms are bad. It could be a thing. Dude, again, comms are... I'm telling you, as easy as communication is, it is also the hardest thing ever, man. NYSL gave their controllers to Optic. Alright. So here you're down 7. Right? So now obviously you're like New York's up 2. You can't like... You don't really count kills like this, like, as a player. It's usually a little bit more focused. But, like, you know, from the... We're talking hindsight here. You know, we can see. So let's see what happens here. They just get killed. They get their base. Okay. Honestly, oh. They just get 3 dead here. Yeah, they get 3 dead here, and they don't take like any map control because I'm assuming their lives are like kind of scaring them. Yeah. They just didn't get any They didn't get any map control from that 3 dead because that guy was ring. To be honest with you, like, I was gonna say, like, I thought like maybe they did something like really dumb. To be honest with you, New York is just like bringing the pressure to them and just winning every gunfight. And so I didn't really get to see how like this happens. The only thing that sucks about here is like after they like, you know, it's this moment right here, like this moment right here, like as NYSL is in their base, like they're that people in their base, like this moment right here is like the key, because as soon as like this goes down, NYSL is able to put pressure on the base, and as soon as they're able to put pressure on the base, like look, dude. Like, it's like right here. As soon as B opens up, this is where like London is like, oh shit. Because London's also down in lives, so you can't just like let them cap B and like, you know, try and go for another defense. That would also be really silly. But like, you have to stop B, but they're on B. And when you get on B, anything can happen just because of the way that tank plays. Sometimes you miss your grenades. Sometimes they're on the ring head glitches. Like, it can be like kind of 50-50 in that sense. So it's just like these moments here, they just never got ring control. Yeah, they just never got the right side of the map control. And then like they let NYSL up in their base, dude. And that's yeah. That's just tough. Clayster turns up. I'm pretty sure Crim turns up here. And at the end of this map, just like skipping. Yeah, this is just really good play. And then after this, and after this, now you just lost that defense and it's tough. So yeah, what you were saying is Zero's comms that map, he said weren't that good. That could be a thing. It just looked like their plan was like they just never got control of ring, and NYSL controlled ring on them the entire time, and they were able to put them in the dirt because of that. So that makes sense. He was being negative on the comms. Yes, the Zero was saying he was being negative on the comms. That makes sense. I mean, that happens, dude. As like, dude, Zero's a really good leader and he's a really good communicator, and like we heard it like in that hard point. But again, it's so easy to like fall out of it just for like one map and then bring yourself back into it, dude. It's such a weird concept, but it is so possible. It's so funny. Okay. So then NYSL slams them on that. They plays really, really well. Like, you know, the comms on London side were obviously bad. You skip through this, they play like a regular defense, and this is fine. Like Paul X is like in a spot where he can be annoying, but that kill again, like they just never like leave the right side, and they're never able to get like this extra step, if I remember. Oh. Oh. Damn, that gunfight could have opened it up right there. Neptune went huge right there. That 2-piece from Neptune was huge. If Neptune doesn't get that trade, bro, he's tough. He's fucking chalked. Alright. There you go. They bring it back, bro. They bring it back. They show some life. So here's some slaying. Clayster 33 and 19. Crim 6 is 31 and 25. Hydra 28 and 24. Neptune 20 and 29. So like they do good, dude. Like, you know, this is what you wanted to see. I think that's why if they won that search it would have been big. But yeah, going forward, I'm pretty sure this Tuscan though starts off the same fashion. Like NYSL just has to get it figured out in Hardpoint, and I don't know if it's gonna be a roster change completely. I don't know what they're gonna do, but like something's got to change. So like, look, we'll watch this again. Ooh. Tough, dude. That's a tough 2-piece. Yeah, dude. After getting that 2-piece just shuts their chance down right there with that P2 break. Did Paco have an off day yesterday? Saw a few tweets on his timeline saying he was struggling. I don't know. I'm not sure. I didn't even see the stats of this, and I didn't see any of the tweets, so I'm actually not sure. Maybe. It's possible. Off days exist, for like, that's for sure. First of all, this hold on the Ravens, so like you know how like London shuts down their rotation of New York's rotation to this. This hold is so devastating. Like this is such a fucking dominant hold on this map. I feel like on P2 in general for Tuscan, it's such a money hill. Like for a lot of teams right now, I feel like teams end up holding a lot on P2 if like they're there and they're actually in that setup. And you can honestly kind of do it from both ways, I feel. So that P2 is big. That's why they're able to go up so much. You see this happen on Tuscan often, I would say. Like, I feel like you can see something similar. If you string P1 and P2 together, like, you can get a lot of points in general. So here again, though. Here again. This is still very manageable. It sucks that you're at a bad lead, but this is a very manageable comeback on Tuscan. You see this all the time. Good holds. London's like one of the best breaking teams in the game, bro. Can we just like tip London really quick? So like from this moment here, watch. From this moment here, they go together, they get two-pieced. It is what it is. Look at London. So they kill the guy in the pinch. This is like London's like one of the best breaking teams right now on Hardpoint. Like that's been their gimmick this year. Like look how London breaks this, and like it's just like so good. I personally, you know, just like look. London gets the kill on the pinch. They know they're not going to pinch through. It's probably not going to work. So he goes top to meet up with his teammate. He comes to a complete stop, right? He checks this, and now he's like stopped here. Like these guys come off spawn, they have grenades, so they're going to throw probably some either grenades at this guy or at this guy, just because that's what every team does. They throw good grenades, but like look at them wait for each other and like not force a play until like they're actually together. Like look, even if this doesn't work, by the way, grenades go down. Zero. Like, look, Zero spawns in here and just watches the lane. Just waits for he waits for the pinch. Like, NYSL is holding and Zero is waiting for the pinch. Like, he's the one with patience where, like, if you think about that the other way around, you would think, like, the team holding is waiting for them to run at, you know, you to run at them because they're holding. Like the discipline out of Zero to, like, just wait, bang. Win that gunfight. Ready? Bang. So he gets that gunfight. They throw grenades. Grenades come in. Boom. Now it's a 2v4 just because of like the discipline that they had to wait for each other and then push together. Like this London team is like the way they break and the way they play Hardpoint is like really impressive sometimes. Well, not sometimes, a lot of the time. So it's just like it's fucking awesome, dude. Like they play that so well, dude. And even if they don't get like all of this time and they get rebroken, they're able to contest that for a couple seconds and not let NYSL like gain momentum and get a bunch of kills and then push out and win the rotation. Like those pushes really quick, just like to break down what I'm saying before we skip through to the next match. Sorry, I can talk forever. I apologize. But like this push right here, if this push is not successful and NYSL like just like, you know, they like, you know, London goes 1-by-1, makes really bad plays and they all die. NYSL gets all these kills. Say if number 8 gets this kill, he can then rotate to middle map or rotate to new or do a lot of stuff on the map where it's going to make their next push really bad. And it's also going to make New York's next rotation really, really good. You know what I mean? So if like New York gets these kills and now number 8 advances to like over here on the map, the next set of kills, NYSL can rotate to the new like that, right? And now they're going to get 35, 40 seconds and they're going to win rotation and they're going to control. This break from London of them waiting and slowing down, even though you skip forward, watch. Even though, so from 38 seconds, watch. So even though you got 38 seconds, you only got 9 seconds here. You only got 9 seconds if you're London. And like, you know, NYSL can still technically get 29 in majority of this hill. So they're going to win the hill. That push, look where New York is for the rotation time. You know, like a lot of times people say like you rotate 20 to 30, whatever, you know, whatever your plan is. Look where New York is for rotation time. And the next hill is right here. Like that push being so together, even though it wasn't like mega successful, it still puts New York in a shitty spot. Does that make sense? Like, even though, like, you see what I mean? Like, number 8 is back where he was, like, 20 seconds ago. Like, Like, he's going to try and rotate. But now this is a fair rotation. You see? So, like, that's like how, like, London's a really hard team to play against, in my opinion, because their breaks are so good. So when you are in your holding position to, like, you know, control the pace of the game, they're very good at like slowing you down even when you're trying to control the pace of the game. They're a very good team to play against, in my opinion. That's why they're, you know, that's why they're a top team. Well, all top teams do it, you know, but I just tip it. I'm tipping London a little bit, you know, impressive stuff. Kills go down. NYSL does a good job at breaking. There you go. So they're in a good spot again. Even though, like, what I was just saying, like, New York still is able to win. Like, it's not always going to do it, but it's definitely a hard team to play against when they constantly do shit like that. So it's pretty cool. NYSL flips the spawns. Let's see. Skipping forward. Nothing crazy. NYSL brings it back. Nice. NYSL beats them on rotation here. Dies, though. They lose that fight. Everyone knows P5's an actual fucking mixer with grenades, nades, wall bangs, nades, wall bangs. Easy peasy. Thanks for the 19 months. Yo, Rigsby with the 3 years. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Oof. Even like here, dude, like, so like NYSL doesn't get the scrap time and like they're all pushing this side. Like number 2 pinching is making a good play, but like against a good team, like you can't allow this to happen. And I know number 6 turns around. Like, look, he turns around now and it's just too late. He gets bad timing, but like this pinch was too obvious for him to let up, in my opinion. Like, this pinch needed to be picked up, like, faster. Because even though he trades the guy in the pinch, Nasty's kill completely fucks them. Like, look. Like, if they had one more body on this side of the map right now, like, it you know, again, like, that pinch slows them down, and then it ends up, like, leading to this. Like, Afro getting these kills. Like, again, that pinch, something that, like, kind of goes unnoticed. But, like, that kill is, like, almost unacceptable. You know what I mean? If you're playing against a good hardpoint team, you can't let that shit happen. You will lose. Like, you will lose time. Like this shit. So like, yeah, that's a tough pinch to allow happen if you're NYSL again. London's just like constantly like being annoying and like capitalizing on like little mistakes. Because again, like that pinch and all this stuff, like look, P2's over here. London, you know, NYSL is like trying to fight for the team, and it just doesn't matter again, dude. Like, you're in this P2 hold. This is a tough hold if you were London. Very tough hold. I mean, not a tough hold. This is a very tough break if you were New York SL. NYSL. Jesus. Sorry. And skipping forward. I know they bring it back here. I'm pretty sure, again, NYSL brings this back on this. This is good. These are good kills. And this is what I was talking about. Like right here, you know, NYSL can technically try and control this game if they keep staying pushed out. This is good. This is really good play out in New York. They're staying pushed out, you know. They're being annoying. They're being aggressive. This is good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So this is like the turning point of the game, right? This is the turning point of the game. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly. Sorry. Yo, Rivera, thank you very much. Oh, wait. Oh, nasty with a big 2. Oh, that's a ballsy fucking play. That is a ballsy play out of Hydra.
Another 1v1. It's up to 0. It's up to 0 for the time, and he and Nasty will be able to walk away with
That's a ballsy challenge out of Hydra right there, dude.
for the Subliners, as they may just have to focus their attention now over at P5. Final 15. Still a church left to fight for. You want these if you're New York, but it will have to be the rotation, as we said, already off to the races. They did a great job at command.
Yeah, that's like low key the turning point of this game. Like like no bullshit. Like it's not 100%, but like look right here when you're NYSL, like rotating to this P5 early is like obviously nice and you want to be there early, but you guys know how like grenades and shit like kind of make this hill mixy. Like P5 isn't really the most of a money hill in my opinion. I'm not sure the statistic of it, but like right here, you're NYSL, you need to take a lead here. You know what I mean? You need to take a lead here. And like look, it's a 1, 2, and like almost a 3 on like this one guy, and then the next guy over here. This guy's kind of like out of the play right now. But like look, if like he stays top with his teammate right there and they slide in and like, you know what I mean, like they kind of just like work it, or just like kind of holds, it's like tough because like dude, he dies and then it becomes a 2-on-2 in a sense, like where like he's gonna die, he gets his trade. And like if Hydra stays alive here, this becomes like more trades available where like he can obviously late pinch. This is like a tough play because he jumps out and dies, and then the trades go into London's favor because of that. Like look, Hydra dies, Hydra gets Crim gets Hydra's trade, but then Afro gets Crim's trade, and then Clay gets that trade, but then Zero gets that trade, and now Zero's the last guy there. You know what I mean? That's right there is where you needed to hold. You needed to take a lead because as soon as you don't take a lead, look. This becomes tough. And even though you rotate to this P5 early, you know, like you're there early, like look, this hill is just such a tough hill to hold. Like watch. It's very possible. But like London's a very good team to break. They're waiting for each other. Like look, they're pushing out, and then here comes the grenades and stuff, you know. And then boom. And like now again, you're not in the lead. This P5's not in your favor. You get broken. And now see, this is like the tough thing. You have to absolutely hit all of this scrap time. And even if you're successful at hitting this scrap time, you have to rotate to P1 to not let you can't let them win. So you have to rotate to P1, but you also can't let them win. So you have to like really split your team in half here, you know? And you obviously have to get the scrap time first. They push the scrap time. They get the scrap time, but that's what I'm talking about. But they had to fully invest the scrap time to fully do this, you see? So now it's just tough. So the turning point was that church hold push right there. And that's just tough, dude. So yeah. All right. That was a little bit more in depth than I expected to break down this NYSL match. I don't know. I was kind of having fun just like looking at it. But yeah, so that's the first match. We got 2 more. That was 40 minutes. I definitely got to speed up a little bit. Oh, wrong graphic. My bad. All right. But yeah, first match. So what do you any thoughts or more than that or what do you guys think there? All right, the next one was Seattle Breach and then Florida Guerrillas. So we'll do Seattle Breach, and then the Florida Guerrillas one was kind of a smoke show, so that probably will be pretty quick. That'll probably be pretty quick. But all right, Seattle Breach, let's talk about it. How to save the NYSL team? I don't really know. I don't take too much takes like that, in my opinion. Or not my opinion. I don't really do too much takes like that on this show. Because I am as much as I do this show as a fan of Call of Duty. I am obviously a coach, and like I always say this. I don't know the behind the scenes of teams. I don't know how scrims are going. I don't know how altitudes are. I don't know anything of that sort. So for me to make a take like that would be like super hypothetical, and like it just wouldn't be, I don't know, correct. And I don't like doing that. And on top of that too, like just in general, I don't know, like that's like their decision. I mean, I personally think right now, like things aren't working out. They're not getting along. I'm assuming a change needs to be made, but it's kind of hard for me to give you like a really in-depth answer for something like that. I talk about like the general stuff with that stuff. All right. Crowder, optics should try. Yeah, dude, right? All right. Seattle Surge. Keys to victory. Work on hardpoint fundamentals, 4 and 7 in hardpoint. Take advantage of the first bloods. 3rd in first blood percentage, but 10th in the 4v3 wins. And then let's spell it wrong. Take advantage of the plus matchup on map 3. Okay. Are there any vetoes here? All right, here. All right, so these are the map vetoes. We talked about this. We talked about this matchup. We talked about the vetoes, and we talked all this stuff. Hardpoint, they're gonna get rid of Tuscan. I'm pretty sure like Seattle's record was like 5-1 on Tuscan, and then they get rid of Berlin because I'm pretty sure Berlin was a decent map for Boston. So then you end up just getting Bocage and Gavutu. We kind of called that like when we were talking about match predictions. Search and destroy Berlin, and then Bocage. That makes sense. And then Gavutu control. So Boston gets Gavutu control out of there. So Boston getting Team A on the coin flip was actually really important in this series. We kind of talked about this. Remember we were saying whoever gets Team A in the series probably takes the control. I think if Seattle was able to get Gavutu control, like they're favored in that map. So getting Team A in the coin flip right now is really important for Boston, so they get it. This was big for Boston, in my opinion. I think we talked about this yesterday. I think that was huge. Like, obviously, it goes by coin flip, so you just don't know how that's going to work. So Boston was probably praying that they got the coin flip. They end up winning it. They're able to get Tuscan control over Gavutu, because I'm pretty sure Boston's Gavutu control is not that good right now. And I think, yeah, theirs are. So that makes sense. Okay. So I know Seattle's record on this map is not super, super good at the moment. And I know Boston's like pretty decent on this map. I think they're like, you know, they're hot or not on it, if I remember correctly. They lost the control. No, I know, but I was saying in the vetoes though, like in the sense of statistics from yesterday, I'm saying like it was still really big that they got that. I know, I'm pretty sure Seattle brings it back. Boston lost control. Yeah, they bring it back. Yeah, but like, and they win it, but it's still like, I think that would have been even worse for them, because we were talking about, I think Boston's control record right now is like what? Actually, I'm gonna bring it up before we go into that. Should have it up. Fuck. What were we talking about yesterday? I want to see if I'm not mistaken. Boston's control record is 1-2 on Tuscan and 1-6. Yeah. So we were saying like that was big for them. Like we kind of talked about how like that was a big moment for them, but they still ended up winning it. But still, I don't know. I think that was like interesting to look at. It doesn't go in their favor, but still, I think that was big to look at. I actually do forget that they did lose the control. Again, it's also so hard for me sometimes to watch these matches again, like, you know, that. So I don't think I saw a majority of that control, but I do know Seattle won it now. You are right. But I do think that would have been a lot worse of a control if Seattle got Gavutu. Like, that was a big thing for Boston to try and get that win control, because their control has been iffy. All right. Siege plays good today, right? Yes, you guys are saying that. Siege plays really good. Boston's still a little underrated. No game mode looks completely chalk to them, and no player. Yeah, they've only won 2 controls out of like 10 or 11 of them though. Their control needs to get better. But I still think Boston's a very good team. But like that's like the thorn in their side right now for Boston is their controls, in my opinion. I think that's like what gives them a pain in the ass sometimes in some of these series, because they're a pretty good search team. They're a pretty good hardpoint team where they're going to take those searches and those hardpoints. I think the control being like an L for them is kind of tough. That's why I was saying yesterday in the vetoes, like they don't want to play Gavutu against Seattle. They really want to play Tuscan to have a chance. They still didn't win it, but that would give them more of a chance, in my opinion. So, please St. Marie. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. All right. Here we go. So, Boston playing really good. They control the spawns of this hill. They have the old time of this hill. So they're getting scrap time, and they're obviously pushing this cliff out. Like, they're playing this really well. I'm not playing Warzone, Mason. Yeah, like what they said. This isn't an easy hard point to break, but this is just also really tough for, you know. Oh, listen.
Tap this cliff, you heard?
Yeah. I'm back right tower, AG. Yeah, I think once. Ready on you.
Mid on me. Third cap tag.
Virginia, I'm coming low.
Third absolute.
One's on you, TJ. Back left.
Nice.
One third as well.
Third absolute.
No man, copy in third. Copy in third. Last guy third in time.
Okay.
Last two. We need full 60 right here. Right?
Third, dead.
I got last guy old.
Okay.
I spawn clip. I have clip. Okay.
I'm in the truck. I'm in
Anyone see siren or no?
No.
Okay, I'm only holding.
What is siren?
I'm checking it. I'm checking it. That's in the back.
Okay, I'm P3.
Middle.
One's going ring.
Ring.
I'll go on ring. Every time clip.
I'm getting in both.
Alright. Nice, I'm looking down right now. Clip, dead.
One's hitting back green, near. And one's ring says. One's out back green already. He's top green weak. He's on the railing going top green.
Inside top green. Inside top green and one top boat. Inside top green, one top boat.
One top boat, yeah, top boat.
I see him.
You can stay down.
CDL Surge keeping the point alive. A nice hard point time garnered from them once again as 30 seconds remain on this bad boy, and Boston Breach trying to get the breaks, trying not to give away the lead.
That was a good listen. What do you guys think? Wait, before they do their listening, I thought they sounded fine for being down as much as they were. I thought that was good. I thought that was completely fine. They sounded good.
I got both of them.
First cut.
I'm
going top 3.
I got this one.
I have the cross right now. They can hit you all.
Yeah, Lamar.
In the back. He's going. Crossing, one shot. He's second cut, one shot, guy.
I'm very looking for nothing.
Second cut, one shot.
I stun up.
Stay up, teach.
I'm trying to stay up there. On me close.
I'm
I got Shredder. They can go low.
Oil on the side.
Deep, yeah. It's close.
He needs help, guys. Press close.
What do you think about methods cam? Wait, when it pops up again, I'll
I'm one shot, actually. Boat. I'm dating time.
Yeah, he's boat. Watch it.
I'm turning.
Trying to cut.
Hey, I'm help you time. Get time.
Deep right, guys. Deep right neck.
Trying to flood. Top their boat.
Stay down.
I'm watching the ring steps.
Kill horn. Top their boat.
I have a ring steps pitch right now.
The ring steps. I get a grenade. The ring steps. Save the ring steps.
I'm coming. I got a cross.
Save the ring steps.
I need the ring steps.
I got the cross you.
I need the ring steps.
Okay, Subliners the ring
Guys,
steps.
top boat. I have a cross you.
Top three. Still Lamar.
Right now,
Still top
I'm
three.
challenging him. Yeah, you challenge him down.
Very distinct. A sound of urgency there. Chance coming out of the Boston Breach comms. A big
Yeah, they sounded like, yeah, what he said. They sounded like super into it. But they both listenings actually didn't sound that bad in my opinion. I didn't think Seattle's listening sounded terrible. Honestly, Seattle's like, weren't getting a lot of kills and things weren't going their way. But like they were still organized. They were still trying to call out what they're holding, what they needed to do. Like, Lamar saying, like trying to keep them in line, saying like we just need a full 60 here, we can do it. Like, I don't think the listenings were too super crazy. I think that was fun. But Boston sounded really good too. But yeah, this is a really good hard point out of Breach. They're playing this really well.
A little bit more balance, but obviously game not over yet. Still a ways to go. Seattle, some semblance of control around the boat, but obviously they're just trying to chip away at that deficit where they currently stand.
Yeah, 100 points. Not impossible to
Then
do.
skipping. Oh.
Has been a little kind on the comebacks here in the CDL so far.
Yeah, this is very, very possible if you're Seattle Surge.
Locking down that boat in a big way.
Problem is though is
Holding down the hard point and add it to
they get this like like right here, like this fight's really big. This is a hard fight too. It's not obviously. This is probably more in Method's favor.
locking down that boat.
Pred should pull out an AR here.
Boston
Why do you say Pred should pull out an AR? Curious.
versus methods now. And this is
Because he's doing bad?
very much a protracted gunfight. No one's giving away too much here. Sib's waiting for the boys to show up, but this is a very, very good hold on boat. And right back in we go. Chance, look at that scoreline. Slowly but surely. Search again in.
And that pick the flank might be the moment. Mac able to pick up one. He's actually got a teammate over towards Red Tower, but now that he falls, well, that opens
Yeah,
up
you
back.
see, I disagree. Just because he is 6, like bro, like stats don't tell the full story, bro. Like obviously he's 6 and 15. He's not doing well. Like your sub player, this is like, I don't know if you guys, some of you guys might not agree with this. I mean, listen, we can go on and on about this. Your sub player on Gavutu is like almost the most important player on the map. And it's not in the sense of him getting kills. Like obviously kills are fucking important. Like no shit. But like, I don't know. I think your sub player is so important in the sense of like getting those like ratty kills and those annoying kills and being in your base and putting on pressure. Like if you're pressuring the other team on this map, like your sub player is important. So if like he's just doing bad and just slows down and pulls out an AR, like Seattle loses all their pressure. And as soon as Seattle loses all their pressure, the game is done. Like, so I disagree. Like you can pull out a 4th AR every once in a while, maybe to hold if you're holding and you're controlling the game and like you're holding a hill. But like, dude, just because he's doing bad, just like, dude, the sub player on Gavutu is almost the most important guy. Like, it's so you can't just like do that. That would just be a really shitty play. And like caring about your stats like that is not like what you should be doing. You should be focused on the win. Like Pred's job on this team is to apply pressure and be a sub player. It's not always going to go in his favor, obviously, but you can't just pull out an AR. Like,
But I think Boston maybe firmly in
But at the same time, I feel like sub players hate Gav. Yeah, because Gav is the hardest map to play as a sub. It's still it's the hardest role to play probably on this map as a sub because it's like a lot of hard engagements for you. But you're also the most important one doing those. You know what I mean? Like you need to do it. Like someone needs to do it. Is my point. Like if you're not doing it, like your entire team is gonna feel the lack of pressure that you have. It's necessary. Yeah, you can't just slow down and do that. Like for example, in my opinion, if Pred were to just pull out an AR and then go 16 and 16, like I think that is I would rather him go 8 and 30 than fucking 16 and 16. Just because, like, again, him just not applying pressure and being annoying makes it so much easier for the other team to play. Like, I don't know. Like, Capsule is 19 and 12 right now, and, like, doing shit like this. Like, dude, like, this is what I mean. Like, he's just playing really good. He's, like, their team's controlling the pace of the game, and, like, it's making it easier. Like, that shit's important, dude. Even, like, when we played Optic in the finals, bro, like, Shotzi was all over us with that sub. Like, that was a really big reason why Optic was playing Gavutu so well against us. Like, their ARs were obviously incredible, but, like, that stems from Shotzi controlling the pace of the game. You know what I mean? Like, everything goes, like, everything works in the sense of a team, you know? Sub opens up the map, your ARs fry. Your ARs fry, your sub can push up. Like, it goes back and forth, but you need a sub. You need a sub. So there wasn't too much to really highlight this map, in my opinion. I just think, honestly, Boston just does a really good job of controlling everything in this game. Like the rotations, they were playing really well when they had the holding opportunities, and they're, you know, you're just doing really good. Like that was really clean out of Boston. Honestly, there's nothing really more to that. I thought that was just pretty clean out of Boston. You look at the numbers, like, I don't know. I think that was clean. Good plays out of all of them, and that's perfect. Like, so yeah. I personally think that's really good out of them. Obviously, it was a tough map for Seattle, but sometimes that's just going to happen. Nothing really more to say to that. Look at Big Cap. Dude, Cap was playing well this series, right? Doesn't he drop a fucking bomb on the next hardpoint? All right, so we talked about this. Hold on, sorry. Oh, where's the Twitch chat? Hello? There it is. Cap had a series. Yeah, he played really well. Yeah, dude, this kid is really good, man. While we're watching this, if you guys want to have a conversation in the chat, what year of the CDL do you think has had the best rookies? And remember, like, obviously, like, there was a lot, like, you know, Shotzi and Illy won a world championship, so they were incredible, and, like, look at them now, duh. But, like, how, like, you know, like, does the amount of good rookies count towards that, like, towards that metric? I don't really know. That's a hard question. Because Shotzi and Illy are obviously insane, and, like, look where they're at now in their career from their rookie season, and, like, they're nuts. But, like, this year has, like, a lot of rookies, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Pretty tough. All right. Ooh. Oh! Good plays. Again, what we just talked about, by the way. When you're Seattle, the Gavutu, you know, Hardpoint, obviously you want to take that and you want to win it. Boston Breach was Team A, so they got to pick Gavutu, which was their map. The thing with Boston is they're a good search team, so they're a tough team sometimes when you're going into that second map search. You know what I mean? This kid's incredible, dude. He's so good. He's been playing really well. So they go up 3-0. This is also, if I'm not mistaken, this map is not played very much by either team, right? I don't think Boston's played this map too much, and I'm pretty sure Seattle hasn't played this map too much, right? I don't think this is Boston's first time and Seattle's first time playing this map. Am I correct about saying that? So this was like a fresh start for both of them. I'm pretty sure both teams haven't played this map until this map or this match. Boston.
Salvos go out. No kills.
Pretty sure Boston played this map. Let me see. I can go tell you.
Still playing footsies under the table right now.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. I'm tripping. So Seattle, Boston's played this map. Seattle hasn't. Then let me look. Oh, actually, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, Boston is 1-0 at this map, and Seattle's 0-1. So yeah, they both played this map one time. So this is like fresh, like in a sense for both of them. Okay, they're 0-1 and 1-0 before this match. That makes sense. Yeah, so Boston played it once. So Boston, the one time they played it, won it, so they have some confidence. Where Seattle obviously doesn't play this map a lot, and then they played it here. Okay. The Zinni Ninja. Oh yeah.
Now the retake. 2v3. Back with Deddy Pop Sib with that snipe. And this could get real weird.
Yeah, this is just tough, dude. This is a hard map to beat a team like Boston on. Just like how good, like the Boston players at SND in general, I feel like.
Nero finding the second. Looking to find the third as well. A little bit of covering fire there from the deep desert. It's going to keep him safe and sound, but that was Sib with a snipe. Here we go, Sib.
Nice snipe. Doesn't matter though. Yeah. It just looks like all these rounds are just like, it looks like Boston is just like bringing it to them, dude. I feel like Boston, again, I've said this a couple times about their S&D. They just look so sure of what they want to do when they play S&D. You know what I mean? Like, even if like things don't go right, like they just look like sure of like what they want to do and like how they're going to do it. Like, obviously it doesn't always like, you know, go in their favor, but it's tough, man. Like, I feel like they're always like so organized in like their pushes or how they're going to rush something or how they're going to get mid control or B control or flank. Like, it looks like they're very, very decisive when they're making their plays.
Something's telling me he's here to play.
I mean, look, you're playing against Methods and TJ's got the snipe. There's going to be no aggression. You got the bomb down in the dead center of the map. And as long as you don't get picked by the sniper or by Methods, you are good to go. So accuracy just has to be delicate about the angle because, well, TJ, he's found the open lane.
He's in. He's behind him. Check your corners. Pistols up. Oh, accuracy wins it. 1v3.
Oof.
And then we go back. Let's keep down the clutch.
All right, it's possible. It's doable.
Yeah, 5-1D. We're still on map.
Not easy, but it's doable.
Methods.
Oh my God. Shoot through the wall.
Range as accuracy looks for it. Capsule.
Oh, no.
So annoying to play against, dude.
Flies through.
So annoying to play against.
He goes. That opening blood is gonna hurt. Search. Oh no. No. Falling apart slowly but surely. 2v3 now. Flies through. His accuracy looks.
It's just like, even like shit like this, dude, like just having someone like Cap do annoying shit like this and just like catch you off guard is like probably the most tilting thing ever. And again, like, it just looks like Boston, though, even with this first blood, like, it just looks like Boston has a plan, like, over here. Like, this guy's going to hold B and then obviously try and pinch through. Like, look, he pinches through here. What I'm talking is, like, the first blood opens that up for that to be possible, but it just looks like they have a plan of, like, how they want to, like, approach, like, this, the ways they're going to play it. They just look like organized and, like, you know, kills go in their favor, and, like, Seattle's just, like, a tough spot.
Doesn't quite eat the nade. Okay, he ate that one. 6 HP left. We're going to piece on now.
Oh.
Method's going to chill at the back line, looking for the wall bang. Nothing there. Chance less than a minute to play with.
Oh, if I'm Mac, I'm losing 4 right there. Yeah, that shit's annoying as hell, dude. You're not expecting that. But Capsule is such a good S&D player with the way he plays it. He has really good timings on the way he wants to, like, play shit like that.
Trying to be able to spot it. Accuracy does collect the bomb, and he's trying to be quick with it.
Why don't you play pro? I'm not good enough, man.
He's breaking and he's making noise. But that didn't bait out anything. They will be able to get this bomb down.
They keep it all together. 2 players now coming through the backside of A. You've got that man Capsule. Man, the myth, the legend now holding it down. Sid finds one.
Oh.
Managed to get away with his life. Here comes Capsule, though. Checks every corner except for the right one. Teammates are there for the kills, though, and that's all good. Now you have to...
2v1.
What's the first? Accuracy. Truly playing his cards right. Doesn't give away a single thing. 20 seconds down to play with Zinni with the tags. Amal's got to stay alive.
Oh. Not happening today.
He's got time to get it.
Not happening today.
There's only so much he could be too spain to...
But yeah, that search was, you know, pretty basic. Surge just looked fucking good on it. But this is the moment of truth we were talking about, right? Like, we were saying this yesterday when before... Oh, this is not it. Where is it? Here it is. So we were talking about this yesterday where I thought, like, you know, again, Surge right now isn't in the rhythm for them, obviously. You know, you guys were talking about it in the chat. But it wasn't even about, like, anything of that. I just think, like, this series, if Surge were to win one of these maps in maps 1 or 2, then they're looking really good for a control win against Boston Breach because their controls look so like just iffy right now. I think they've won like what 2 controls total, and then let's go see like the Boston right now. Like when we're talking about it, it's like yeah, Boston is 2-8 in control. They're 1-6 in Gavutu, and they're 1-2 in Tuscan. And now after this Tuscan, they're 1-3. So this is like where where I was like scared in the sense of like if Boston didn't get Team A and then they were able to play Gavutu, like Seattle almost doesn't have a guaranteed map win. That's like silly to say. Nothing's ever like guaranteed, but statistically speaking, it was really in their favor. So like that's why I thought if Seattle were to take maps 1 or 2, they had a pretty good chance of like making this a pretty tight series. Obviously, even in Game 5 Boston, it looks like right now the way Boston's playing SND, they would have been favored. But still, like that's where we were talking about a lot of the vetoes yesterday when we were doing match predictions. And either way, they get Team A, they get Tuscan, they still lose it. So like yeah, Boston right now looks really good. Their controls are just like so weird.
No semblance of a control for Boston. Well, down 4 lives. So this is the defensive setup that Seattle needed to have. Again, the puzzle to try to solve for these offensive teams.
So I have a question for you guys. Again, this is changing, so we can actually talk about this more a little bit in depth right now because like this is changing, so we'll never have to worry about shit like this again soon, and I'm actually super happy about it. What do you do if you're Boston right here? I want to see like what your like the chat just thinks. Like, do you think Boston pushes this on an offense? Down what? 4 lives? Do you think Ball's like, look, they have to cap B. They have to cap B.
Should know there's 2 players nearby, and again, lives matter a great deal. If he's 5-1, Seattle feeling fair the company.
We go, one more hit now from Boston Breach. 25 on the clock to play with. Here comes the tags. Pred picks up 1. Over to the second. Nice shots out of Mack.
You're now down 8. You see what I mean? First of all, the fact that that's a decision in the game is really cheesy. We talked about this. I'm so happy this is changing soon. Fuck it, already down lives? Yeah, but now you're not going to get defense. Like, that's what I mean. Like, your respect for trying? Yeah, but like they literally just almost solidified that they're not going to get defense last round by doing that. You see what I mean? And like that's the reason why I think the way like control right now is played is super cheesy. So it's like you do that one more push, but they just solidified that they're not getting defense last round. You see what I mean? Like, honestly, Seattle going rogue like that was kind of fucking ballsy. But like, he gets 2, and then they like number 2 makes a good play. That was like holding his base, but I don't know. They're down 8. What's changing? It's going. The defense is going to be decided by ticks on control and not kills. So you see what I mean? Like. That decision right there is probably I would have to say a pretty big factor of how this map plays out. If they were to go like round 5, obviously, you see what I mean? Because they're down 8 right now. You skip forward. Seattle's like doing their job, pressuring their base. I like this out of Seattle. Seattle's playing this good. Seattle's up in lives again. So Seattle caps A. Seattle's up 8. Now they're up another 3. You see?
14 lives for breach, 17 search.
A little bit different idea for this setup, right? Still play over towards plat, but cap a bit more aggressive over towards B5. So
it's probably the wrong decision if you're going hard for the defense in round 5. I agree. Well, that's what the thing is, though. Statistically speaking, defense is like so much more of a win. You see what I mean? That last round defense is like a real reason why most teams win their controls. Like that's like good control teams right now are the teams that get last round defense most of the time, in my opinion. And that means that the teams that are really good at playing their lives and smart. They're being smart. Again, like you're still down in lives if you're Boston, significantly. Like skipping forward. Skipping forward. You know, you watch this play out. Like look at the difference between Seattle and Boston right there. You see how Seattle and Boston play it? Like Seattle says, fuck it, we're not gonna go for B. and like they don't make a full push, and they 8. So Seattle's still up in lives. They're up 6.
I'd say if nothing else, just
You see?
using that glide bomb, interesting decision. Maybe something we'll have to think
Wait,
about.
who used the glide bomb there? Sorry.
A little too happy.
Did I skip through it? Did I skip past the glide bomb?
Two bodies on the hill now. You just have to
Oh, Seattle used the glide bomb.
Trades on the point.
I don't mind that. I actually don't mind Seattle using a glide bomb to make sure they win the round and like keeping lives. I think that's fine using it on that. I don't mind that.
we're close there, but Seattle surge. You've only got one
So again, Seattle's in the driver's seat.
player left up on the field.
Even though it's 1-1 right now, Seattle is heavily favored in this control because of the way those lives played out so far.
Progress at A.
That was a very nice kill from Sib. I don't know if he took him down through the wall or what the deal was there, but hey, take care of business. And honestly, for Seattle, great read on the defensive end. Just stack up.
Not that crazy to kill one only kill. Yeah, but like they wanted to make sure they probably won the defense. It's a little interesting of a glide bomb, but like it's like, you know, yeah. I don't think you're gonna use that glide bomb to win an offense, in my opinion, unless like it's like desperation. No, LAG is the next one, Beastie. We're doing 3 matches today. And I can go a little bit more in depth because there's only 3 matches instead of 4, so we're taking our time here. TJ fried the series, yeah. TJ and Cat played pretty good if I remember.
Things up 9 and 11 now for him on a 2 spree. Into the spawn as he goes. Trying out a wrap back, hit the backside now. That B hit, and that's what Boston are going for. They've got plenty of lives to work with, loads of time.
Boston's playing this offense well.
This one, the first segment about to come to a close. Quick contest from Mac.
Nice.
Unaware, kills now coming through for Boston. Holding this one down indeed.
Nice.
Accuracy gets taken care of.
Kicks are going down.
Still on point.
So like here is perfect because like now you have 2. This is very, very doable because you have 2 ticks, right? Even if Seattle pushes this down, this is where it's kind of scary because now all it takes is 1-4 dead and a little stack action and boom, you're done.
Zip, Pred, bang. B zone. Safe for them.
I mean, hey, dude, you stack the point, you get 2 cats. I'm telling you, TJ has been playing the finesse.
A good play.
on this map on point.
Boston plays that really well.
I think now you're
You skip forward. You have these pushes.
15 seconds. 2 can do it in 7.
This is scary stuff.
Get all 4 on the point. I mean, it'll disappear instantly. So Boston, you got a minute and a half to string something together. The nades for the intro, but Mac with the big 2 on the response, but still.
So that's another shutdown.
Point, albeit just for a second in the 4th is gonna fall. It was a good attempt with the nades, but again, the clutch plays on the defensive end for Seattle hold strong.
Still holding it down. Here comes another hit. Can Mac find another 2-piece? For Seattle surge, accuracy with a
And again, another push.
But he still takes down.
And then here again, another push. Then skipping forward again. Still here.
I mean, if you can win the offense
Like-
right, and they got the push out towards B, they found an opening, maybe a kill or 2, so they're trying to make things mixy.
Yeah, it's on point now. That's what
Wait, did I just miss something? I didn't, right? Oh, yeah.
Breach in this offensive round have just looked disconnect.
Yep. And then Seattle's on offense now, yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you have what, maybe a 12 life advantage, give or take, for Seattle. I mean, if you can win the offense, great. And they got the
Yeah, the Boston color, like, well, Boston colors are black and green, so obviously they're like optic, but I like the Boston's like logo and stuff. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I think their skins and stuff would be pretty dope.
And that's going to be just a little bit of time with accuracy. Sim, and once again, caught up
towards B.
So then skipping forward here,
Boston.
you're watching this.
Go. Unless you can find a couple more of these ones.
So this is obviously the dagger for Boston.
Nero wins it.
Alright, here.
Oh my! It's not over yet. Sim, you gotta go
So like, look, it's a 3v6.
huge. You've got to get in there, but you can't. There's less than a minute remaining and 3 members of Surge to get it done.
Well, 3 remaining, 6 lives. I mean, you're playing
2v6.
game at this point, 52 seconds, but Boston able to pick up a few more kills. You decap the point, and back and Fred, it was a good try. You got so close, but I would assume nowhere to go. Unless you can find a couple more of these one-on-one gunfights. 2 players out on black. Fred down. The opening, he picks up 2, and Mac does as well. You read the flank into 2v6. How fast it can fall.
Bro.
TJ trying to be the hero for the team.
DJ's got to do it now in the 1v1.
So look, just before this, at this moment, in my opinion, before we allow a 2v6 to happen, Boston kind of slammed themselves in round 1 when we were talking about that push, in my opinion. I think the way kills are being played right now, Boston's not getting a last round defense, so even if Seattle doesn't win this, Seattle's probably winning a last round defense, hypothetically. It's possible to win an offense, don't get me wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, it's possible, and you can do it, and well, yeah. But Seattle played this smarter, and I think Boston put themselves in a big hole that first round, in my opinion. Either way, this round is a choke, and they should have won this. It doesn't matter. I still think they lose this map because of the way they were playing their lives on their offense. Like, that first offense really fucked them, and then it kind of just went on from there. Like, I think Seattle played a better control of this map in general, even before this happens. But this happens, and like, look. 1, 2. Look. So, like, here, all they can't do is cap the point. They have to get on the point, right? So, this, like, right here, like, look. So, this and this. So, right here is a 6v3. This is hindsight 2020. Do not get me wrong. Like, you know, this is obviously, you can see how it plays now, blah, blah, blah. Like, but in a scenario like this, the only way Boston is probably going to win this is if, like, they, you know, get a couple kills and get on the point, right? Like, or just get a bunch of kills like they did. Look at the arrows of Boston. There's only one guy near the point. Like, it's just, like, so weird. Like, look at the arrows of Boston, like, how separate they are after these kills. And, like, look at, like, the lack of urgency to get together so they can just play their trade. Like, look at the lack of urgency, like, to get their trade. Yes, Capsule pinches and just goes the wrong way. Low-key, if he goes this way, they probably win that. But it's like the consistent method here is, like, do not get two-pieced and get your trade, right? As long as you get your trade, you win. So watch. So, like, right here, like, you just got to get together. Like, look at this, dude. In a 4v2, look at the two arrows. They can take this guy out, or a 6v2. Boom. They can take this guy out. Boom. You have no idea where everyone is, obviously. Like, then they get this kill. And now this guy coming off spawn can get spawn killed. What do you think happens? He gets spawn killed. Like, that death and then spawn kill is, like, very, very possible. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like at this moment, this is hindsight. And, you know, obviously everyone, you know, knows better. And like, you're not in the moment, blah, blah, blah. So, like, take this with a grain of salt. But, like, yeah, 6v2, like, I feel like number 4 and number 2 should be running around together, at least. Because I know they end up getting two-piece when they are together. But the initial plan is not to get together. And then, like, look. They get bad timing. Now they're together. And, like, they're not really, you know. Boom. They get, like, caught like that. Like, I don't know. Like, personally here, like, these two should be running around together and, like, getting P5 together and then coming back together. Like, they just need to play, like, way closer. And then when they don't, they just get choked. So, I mean, this was obviously, you know, hindsight, and this was tough. Seattle goes pretty fucking big here. But, yeah, this was a troll. But either way, I do think that Boston doesn't win this map even if they won this. Because then Seattle gets last round defense, and they're going to win it. So, I think it's like the way the kills are played, I think Seattle played a better map. So, that's just tough. Yep. All right.
It's going to be a crazy one. Boston have had a couple of nice runs.
And for Seattle, it certainly feels like do or die, need to turn around, and especially even in this.
So we knew Bocage was going to be played in this series when we were talking about it yesterday. We knew Bocage was coming. Boston Breach is like 2-6 on Bocage, but they're really, really comfortable on it. And Seattle's like what, 3-3 on it or something. This is like two, like, you know, Bocage is about to get fucking mixy. We know this, but a good old Bocage mix, yeah. This is a good hard point. We'll watch this.
But certainly a wonderful dance now being done by Seattle Surge. As time ticking their way, a little bit of a contest, back and forth we go. In and out of this gate again, playing the terrain to a perfection right now. Seattle Surge, tight angles, Mac keeping the kills going. Mac keeping the kills going. Mac.
Oof.
Thirds does end the spree.
Cap was moving diffy, yo. Cap doesn't Cap drop 50 here?
Right now for Surge.
I mean, Mac and Sid went together. This is one of the better P1s we've seen. Immediately Boston towards the end. Able to find a couple of kills, and Cap, I will say, that
Bro, he's so fucking crazy to watch. Homie hit the flow state. Dude, look at him, bro. He's cracked. Look at him. He's just, yeah. I don't even know if he knows what he's doing right now. He's just going. Guy's twisted. Oh, that's tough.
kill coming through there from Capsule, but this is a nice bounce back now from Boston trying to get onto the point. They do, finally. Now Seattle Surge looking to try to make the break. 2 players now should be hitting towards inside of barn. The Zig attack is coming to a close. And this is not
54 and 31. Yeah, dude, he was moving on the map.
Lucrative hills here on Bocage. As already Seattle Surge running it up. 20 seconds remaining here, though. Will Boss going?
Skip forward here.
They were being towards Grandma's, basically setting up for those
Good play out of Cap right here to try and like split this D.
So it gives them the lead at the end of this hill.
He's one.
The rotation goes
Tough.
Cap on a 6, get taken down. Pred, massive one-on-one gunfight. This is Seattle again.
Jay, ask me that after this series. After I'm watching this map, we'll talk about it.
Putting in a decent bit of work right now just to keep things close and effective.
There we go. Siege. In and out he goes. Top grades now to the bottom. Find himself a sweet table Mac on the entry kills. Finds 2 somehow out of nowhere. Captain him now through the back.
Big kills.
Now, through every single nook, cranny, door, window, you name it. Guys, kills coming through once again. Comfortable because it's never comfortable here on the cage. The Grandma's
What's like the turning point here?
somehow managed to get out.
So Boston goes up, but doesn't Seattle? Hold up. I'm gonna skip forward really quick.
Still
Actually get those squad spawns. Crucial.
Okay, so yeah, here. Sorry.
consider is 30.
So Cap's absolutely frying, like right here, right through this. And then this is like the turning point where like Surge kind of brings it back. So, like look, like let's watch it from here. So going P4 to P5, like this is like obviously a pivotal moment in this map, just the way P5 can play out.
These final 20 seconds in the game, they'll still be down by about 20 or 25 points. And look at the battle for scrap, right? You find a couple nade kills, you find a way just to get that little extra few seconds of contest. So that is Boston's game plan. As on this rotation,
Right here is like tough. Like look, like watch it again. Like look at this right now. Seattle with 20 seconds left have the bad spawn. They don't have the back spawn. Well, not the bad, but like this is like they obviously kind of want to like get back here. Like this rotation is huge, dude. It's like crazy because this kill and like these kills right here, like Boston's assuming, or like they're assuming that they're gonna like run through middle and stuff, and like they don't really play like solid, like I don't know, like just like look, like Boston like pushes the old and they let Mac through. Mac gets this timing and like he fucks their day up, dude, by being back here. It's like look where Boston spawns now, and then look where Seattle's gonna spawn. Like that's like right there is a huge moment. Like Mac gets through on that timing and they leave that gap open. Like look if you're Boston. Boston pushes out the right and then these two push out the left together. They leave all of Z wide open. Like even though like number 1 kills this guy, like he could have like went through here. Like there's all of this right here is like open, and Mac takes this lane. And then look, he doesn't even wrap back to get it because they don't realize it's open. And then this like kill from Mac is huge. Like this Mac is huge. This kill from Mac is huge for this flip here. Because Seattle is able to get this scrap time for a majority of it and then also win this rotation.
That is Boston's game plan. As on this rotation, Capsule, he is in between 3 players. I don't think they know
And then,
he's
yeah.
here yet, and he finds that first one, just trying to keep everything as scrappy as possible.
That's tough, dude.
Because he's just allowing his team to get the trade.
Because normally, yeah, dude. Normally this hill right here, like when you're in like, you know, Seattle's shoes, you're in a really good spot because Seattle's going to bring it back here. I know Boston ends up winning this, but like Boston could have really closed out this game on that rotation if they didn't fuck that up. You blame methods there? I didn't see. The problem is no one played safe on the right side of the map to like hold the pocket, like you know, like hold this like pocket side of the map. Like Capsule pushed out SND and they left the lane wide open, which is tough. I don't know if that was methods' fault though. I didn't like see who was who.
The snappiest gameplay right now. 39 kills again. Maybe not quite on pace for the kill record anymore, but
So again, like even though P1's a mixy hill, I think specifically having this side of P1 is better to trap them back here and like trap them in this like back area. So, you know, Boston gets the spawns, but it's just like late. And now like look again. Like getting trapped back here can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Obviously it's P1 most of the time it gets mixy, but still like, you know, you can do this if you're Seattle from this side.
absolutely for Seattle, still present.
Still on, but Breach will not go quietly here in this series. Surge still fighting for their lives. Accuracy keeping the downstairs covered.
Again, time. So this flip's big. This flip's nice for if you're Boston, for sure.
35 seconds remaining here. And Seattle Surge, they've managed to keep Boston towards those
Get
tanks,
forward.
and it is so fast. And I doubt we'll go to the game clock. There's still a minute and 16 to play with here, but you keep them off.
But he doesn't actually get those squad spawns, so now he's got to play the cheeky.
Pretty sure they kill Mac right here, right? Or Pred. Yeah. That was a big kill.
And it's Capsule with 46 able to take him down, and well, that at least secures those
Bro, he's 47 and 27. Jesus, dude.
Right now, it is Seattle still inside this hard point.
47, he's got the lead in the kills department now as the record is set from Capital, currently holding it now. Still keeping the hard point ticking away though as Seattle surge mid-map coverage. Here comes Pred. Here comes Pred. Finds himself 2 more. You're about to see the lead change hands as the comeback is still on, is still alive. Pred lighting things up 3 now in a row as he's really starting to heat things up. The hard point still in the hands of Surge. They take
This is a really good hold out of Surge to come from the front too. Not having these spawns on P2 can be pretty fucking brutal, but they actually do a really good job of winning their fights and controlling Barn on this hill. Them controlling Barn on this hill and doing all this right was really smart. Seattle played that really well. But Seattle's like technically in the driver's seat here to like hold this next set of P3 spawns, but the difference here though is like, look at this. 14 seconds left. Look at where all Seattle is. And like, this is a tractor spawn. You know about this. If you're in the hill, they don't always spawn tin, they spawn tractor. So like this route is very common. You know what I mean? So like when you're in the hill here, they're going to spawn tin or they're going to spawn tractor. That's like 2 like majority spawns for this map. So this left side is obviously the route, the route that you obviously have to stop. They invest 4 people into old. And then they invest 4 people into old. And look, as soon as number 3 is behind number 6, he spawns there. You know what I mean?
Seconds on rotation. Boston is here first. I think the final couple seconds on old are going to Seattle, but Capital winning the gunfights. The 50.
Seattle doesn't get P2 scrap too, yes.
But he needs to keep it going.
There is no
Do you think if Seattle gets the P2 scrap? Let me see. How much time did they leave? 13 seconds. So if number 5 goes to get on this, he would have gotten 13 seconds. How much do they lose by? So just remember that at the end. So then... Oh yeah, what? That's... Yeah, wait, that's the game. But the problem is like what? Where does number 5 go to like look at it again? Let's see. Does 5 do anything important here? No, he just dies. So, yeah, no, they would have won the game 100%. But the difference is though is like this. It's like the big highlight to like, you know, the big thing to look at it is like, look at this play right here. Like what I just said. So no one picks up this like wide right lane, and like obviously a lot of ARs get on this tank and shit, like just like what they do. Like no one picks up this wide right lane, so they invest 4 into the scrap time. A big thing other than, you know, hindsight, oh, we could have got those 13 seconds in 1 bullshit like that we can talk about. Like obviously everyone can say that because we can see the game now after it's played out. The thing is like if you're going to invest 4 people into scrap time, then you have to get the scrap time because you're losing the rotation. You see what I mean? You're losing your rotational gunfights. You're giving them pressure into the new hill. So, like, you need to get your scrap time. And the thing is they invest 4 into the old time. And now they, like, half-ass, like, try and back up. Like, you know, like, oh, shit, we're not rotating. Fuck. And then, bloop. And then, like, since we back up and now we're all trying to back up and lose rotation, like, even here, number 7 can get 5 seconds. And he gets off it, too. And then he gets on it. So, it's like, yeah. Boston gave him free scrap for the dub. And then, like, right here, too. Oh, shit. Sorry. Right here, like, they still end up getting these spawns because number 4 is so far pushed out. And number 7, like, first of all, spawns like this are so annoying to watch sometimes. But, like, they still end up getting these spawns because number 3 dies. And so, like, they get these back spawns. But they just 4 invested in the scrap, didn't get the scrap, and also didn't win the rotation. Because even though they get these spawns on rotation, and, like, they get their preferred spawns or whatever you want to say, if you're in the hill first, you're winning this rotation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can win this from both sides. It's possible. It's a very hard hill just to easily break. So, yeah, they invested 4 into scrap. They don't get the scrap, and they don't get rotation. That's just like that's a lose-lose. So it's just, like, tough. Guys, 50 and 20, 52 and 29, dude. Jesus.
themselves across the sides of
This is a great play out of number 8, by the way. Pred makes a really good play right there. Yeah. It's not going to work, but that was a solid attempt.
Two more remain there, and there we go. The leaders changed hands. Boston breach now looking to get it done. Capsule once again trying to find one more here. Surge back in control of the point. Chance it's 10 for the win.
10-second game right now, and now Boston, they're gonna have to just try to flood through the front. Sid.
That's the game right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's technically the game. So it's like, yeah, in hindsight, yes.
The map spread, but then the gunfights, they just walk through and kill everybody. Boston back in, but then now Boston, they're gonna have to just try to flood through the front. Sid's got one angle covered. He got the map spread, but then the gunfights, they just walk through.
That's tough.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Boston back
Pred got Bocage right there for sure. Like, I know you guys are giving Pred shit right here, but when you spawn right here, you don't always, like, you know, in the moment, you're not going to expect someone, like, inside of you. Like, think about how close these two are on the spawn. You know what I mean? So it's like, he's not expecting someone to be right next to him. And he dies. That's not really, like, you don't even know if Pred gets that kill, if that's going to change anything, but still. Yeah. That's the Boston match. Freaking, I mean, that's just tough. That's just like tough stuff right there, just because of, in general, you invest the four scrap time, and you lose. Like, it's just that's unfortunate. So, what's the hard point of phase on Bocage? I can tell you right now. It's just on the website. This isn't any like super in depth. Our match record on Bocage right now, we're 6-0. We're 6-0 in matches right now on Bocage. Alright. Okay, let's do this last match. Again, I know I'm taking long per match. It's just because there's only 3 matches, so I can do like 3 matches pretty, a deep dive in these matches and kind of still have time. So I figured we just might as well. FaZe actually played a control chaos in Bocage. That's why y'all are so good at it. Yeah, we've been playing Bocage well this year. I've been happy with how we've been doing it. Like, just like some of the like philosophies we came up on the map and stuff. Simpin and Beezy are obviously really good at that. Like, it's just like in general, we've been playing it well. Been proud of the boys. All right, here we go. Last match. All right, so Jay, ask your question. Oh yeah, you can ask the question before we go into this, but this is the map bans for LAG versus Florida. Some teams are a go, but you guys know when to slow it down. That's like every good hardpoint team in general too. Like, you got to know when to go. You got to know when to slow down. Like, it's just like a little bit of both. And Beckett, thank you for the resub. Frankie, by the way, Verded, thank you as well. I appreciate you guys. Okay, feel free to ignore if you saw it before. Crowder, how do you explain Cap being 105 in hardpoint, 118 in SND, and 0.84 control? Just a lack of understanding the game mode. Not trolling. Don't really understand. He just looks so good, and the 0.84 is surprising to me. So, I mean, I would have to, like, really dive deep down into their controls. It's not my team, so I'm not going to do that. Usually, when that happens, sometimes, like, it's either the team playing control in just, like, a really bad way where it's, like, not leading to them, like, being in advantageous positions to spawn trap, to get kills, to be annoying, like, whatever it is. Or, like, maybe, like, the way he is just playing the maps, like, in the sense of understanding, like, how, like, it's a different way of playing. Like, hardpoint, you get into a rhythm of, like, you spawn here, you do this, you do that, you can pinch spawns, spawns, like, you can manipulate everything, like, you kind of, like, you fall into, like, a rhythm. Control is easy to lose that rhythm because control is, like, you push up, but then you have to get kills, like, in, like, that really pivotal moment of the map or that pivotal spot on the map, and then you got to do it again, and then you spawn trap and try and get, like, into their base. Like, maybe he's just not finding a rhythm in that sense. Like, I don't really know. Control is just a very, very different play style than hardpoint and even SND. Like, SND is totally unrelatable. So it's just like there's just a different play style. But I will say one thing for Cap, like, he's the main sub on the team, and they, Gavutu is a map, right? So if you go to Boston, because Capital's really talented, obviously. I know exactly where you're getting at with this. If you go to Boston, they're 1-6 on Gavutu control. So that means Capital has played 7 Gavutu controls, and they're not that good at it. So if they're not that good at Gavutu control, and they've played 7 of it, and he is the sub player, you see how he can probably have a negative KD? Because that's probably the hardest map to have a positive KD as a sub player, and you still need to be a sub and apply pressure. So he has to apply pressure, but he's also probably going to go negative. And if his team is getting spawn trapped and absolutely body slammed, which is, if they're 1-6, I'm sure that's happened a couple times. you're probably like his KD is probably not going to be good. If they were 1-6 in Tuscan and only 1-2 in Gavutu, he might have a positive KD. You know, like that's also a very big map decision thing too. So that makes more sense. You know, it could be a little bit of all of what I said. I don't really know. But I definitely think the biggest factor there is that he's playing Gavutu over and over and over. They're losing it, and when you're losing Gavutu and getting spawn trapped, and you have a submachine gun, chalk it the fuck up, bro. Even a goddamn rank play is annoying. So that's probably the main reason for that. All right, next match and final match that we'll do. This will probably be the fastest one. This was a 3-0. Not much to say about this one. Just, you know, Florida came out. So we have Bocage. What did I say yesterday in the predictions? One second. I'm sorry. Okay, that's what I thought I said. I don't know, dude. This is weird to me. I don't have... So, remember, I always put myself in a fan... Like, you know, like I'm a COD fan when I'm talking to you guys right now, you know? Like, I'm not going, you know, coach mode here. Because, obviously, I don't know everyone's scrim sheets. I don't know everyone's scrims records. I don't know, you know, feelings of maps. I don't know if players are comfortable or not comfortable on maps. There's a lot of shit that goes in the vetoes that people don't understand. Cap had a really good tweet about it, like, the other day. It was really funny. JCap, when he was like, you know... Players are begging me to pick Gavutu control, but I picked Tuscan or something like that. Like that's like kind of what I'm getting at. You don't really know the thought process of vetoes sometimes because there's a lot that goes into it. But yesterday when we were talking about it, like, you know, I'm using a public website. I'm not using anything scrim sheets. I mean, like your scrim records, like when you know you keep track of like your scrim records and you see like how like, you know, if you're trending positive or negative on a map, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of stuff like scrim sheets, like, you know, there's like all your scrims that you practice and stuff. Like, are you trending upwards on a map? Are you actually bad at the map? Like, you never know like what's actually going on in scrims is what I'm saying. Like, for all I know, LAG could be, for what I'm about to get at, LAG can be 9-0 in the last 9 Bocages they've played in scrims. So maybe they're feeling really confident on it, right? But in matches, they're only 2-2 on it or something. But Bocage for Florida is a positive map, so you don't know like what it is. But when we were talking about like the map vetoes here yesterday, I said the one thing I would be really upset to see, I'm pretty sure I said if a Bocage Hardpoint was in this versus Florida, I would be very, like, confused. Now, I don't know, again, the thought process, so it's, like, it's hard to be super critical about that. But just to give you an example, Florida is 4-2 on Bocage, and they seem to just have a lot of slaying power, right? Like, this Florida team is a team that, like, their gimmick right now is they get a lot of kills, but they don't get in the hard point kind of thing. That's like been like the gimmick around the community, whatever you want to say. So like a map like Bocage, that can happen, but also a lot of kills can just win you the map sometimes on Bocage because how mixy it gets. So they're 4-2 on Bocage, and like this Bocage like fits right to their playstyle, right? And if, you know, LAG is like 5-0 or something on Bocage, I'd understand like, you know, the matchup. Like, you know, you're just like two good Bocage teams go at it. Kind of like when NYSL and Optic played at each other. Like they were like 4-0, we were 4-0 in Bocage, and we both played it. Like that's a different story. But going to the scrim sheets here real quick, I'll bring it up on your screen. Florida is 4-2 on Bocage. LAG is 2-2 on Bocage. So, like, LAG doesn't look like elite at this map. They're all kind of even on all the maps. So, they're 1-1, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. So, they're kind of, like, even on all these maps right here. But, like, you're thinking, if you're playing Florida... If you're playing Florida, you know, 0-2 on Gavutu, you target this map, right? You would want to target this map, in my opinion. Like, Florida lost to Boston here. They lost... they won a Bocage Hardpoint, and then they were 0-1 in Tuscan. And then, like, here, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like you target Gavutu here, right? That's what you would think from an outside standpoint looking in. Again, I don't know the behind-the-scenes stuff. So you give that up, and then you look at these vetoes. They veto Gavutu. So, again, maybe they're getting absolutely bodied on Gavutu in scrims. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe, like, they're just really, really uncomfortable on Gavutu. So they do that. That's, again, like, I have no idea. That's, like, this is tough. This is like a pretty interesting thing to see because then they get rid of Tuscan, and now Berlin's good for LAG. Like they like Berlin, they're comfortable on it, but Bocage is map 1. So like I don't know. I feel like right here, Florida's in the driver's seat from the veto. I feel like Florida's going up 1-0 if I'm not watching the match. And like I know, like yeah, like, again, I know like they got made look silly on Gavutu Hardpoint. That's what I'm saying. So like there could be a thing where they're just not comfortable on Gavutu Hardpoint. They look really dumb. Like there's so much more to vetoes. So again, that's like where it is. But if I'm just looking from the outside in, being very, very brief here, it looks like Florida's in the driver's seat already. Then Search and Destroys, they get rid of Bocage, they get rid of Siege, and then Gavutu control, they play Tuscan. So that's fine. But like this is like where it gets scary because LAG is not a like right now, historically speaking, they're not good at SND. They're not the best control team either, but they're pretty, you know, they win their hard points, especially in scrims. They're a pretty good scrim team in hardpoint too. You need to take map 1 if you're LAG in the series, because if you take map 1, you lose 2 and 3. You probably take map 4 in the sense of like you're a good hardpoint team. You could try and win that game 5 and extend this series, or you can win one of the 2 and 3 and then be really in a really good spot. So it's like I feel like this hardpoint goes really into LAG's favor in the sense of like they need to win it, so they needed these hardpoints to be in their favor. Is what I'm saying, and it wasn't. I feel like Search, Florida had like a little bit more of an advantage, and just like in control, I don't know if Florida's control is looking good. They're like, yeah, they're 4 and 4 in control overall. They're 3 and 2 in Tuscan. So like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I think this was really important for this match is basically what I'm getting at. And so, yeah, I think immediately those bans go like that. And then like you skip forward through this match, and then freaking LAG plays really good on this. Florida comes back, and then Florida plays a fucking mixer. So we're going to watch it from like, right. Well, let's watch what happens to LAG. So LAG takes a good map. So like, again, they could be in a really good spot where in a sense like maybe they were comfortable on it. I'm not too sure. Let's see what happens though. So LAG's in the driver's seat. Back up a little bit, sorry. Oh, listenings. Hold up. Did I miss the listenings? We'll do listenings. Yeah, okay, here. All right.
Trying to pick up our back house.
That's up again.
Go top attic though.
Front dead. Be up.
Yeah,
no, pushing.
Deep front behind the tank.
Two away from streaks. He's on the tank. I'm one away from streaks.
Give us time. Go help him.
I'm one boy. Run away now. Watch my close right.
Asen with the good comms. Saying go help. Saying to go help. I got time. I like it.
Don't see back off speaking. Could be puzzles.
I don't know where these guys are. I'm just camping top. He's on the hay. I'm just camping top. Get kills.
He's on the back down. Don't see him up. It's
spawning out. Take your time.
Back off.
Too high.
Got me.
Yes. Wake went to hell.
Who's going to be up fast?
Below me somewhere. Let's go.
B-hop, one shot.
Okay, I'm needing him.
He ran away. Water.
Top B-hop.
He ran away water, guys.
This guy gay, bro. Phone up Yo, he's top A awakening. Bottom house.
Trying to go water right now.
Child, one bullet.
Once they got water peeking.
Caesar, one bullet.
Wanna go top A?
Yeah, yes.
He's
Caesar was one bullet front house.
It's bottom house.
God tank.
Somebody help me left.
Wait.
He's hot.
Can you help me with the God tank?
He's in hot dead.
I don't see him. Walking water.
Hey, back to my time.
2010 guys. 2010.
God tank.
I'll get they're dead in the back. One bull in the back. Back right.
Before I go anything, I love Asim's comms. I love their comms, but like I swear to God, that entire listening, I just feel like I'm listening to Pierce just like keep everything so precise and so fucking like precise and just accurate and like flowing, dude. No, am I not tripping for saying that? Like I feel like those comms were like incredible from Pierce. Like Pierce is so fucking like just good at like keeping the team like flowing and shit. Like I don't know.
Cool and collected out of
you think those are bad comms? I feel like those are really good at a Pierce.
They're dead in the back. One bull in the back. Back right.
Like he was constantly like keeping everything calm, cool, and collected. Like he wasn't like, you know. Yeah, those are really good. All right, so we're doing listening now too.
Continue to roll for LAG. On the other end, let's go ahead and check in now with the.
I like these back-to-back listenings, by the way.
Let's
this
go
is cool.
to a listen now with the Mutineers.
I'm looking over you. I got him.
It was the energy of the crowd. Like the whole energy thing, in my opinion, is like super overrated. Like unless like you're a team that has a lot of momentum and like you can clearly say it's like, oh, he's one shot. Like, you know, like you like they're like, you know, that super depressed tone. Like I think he was just level, monotone, and like there's no emotion there. And like in my opinion, that's like what you need. Just like calm, cool, collected. Like the only thing I care about is like what's important and how we're gonna win. Like I actually don't think that was bad. I think that was fine. I think calm, cool, and collected communication is better than like honestly sometimes like even like FaZe struggles with is like, you know, it's like, dude, like no one can understand what the fuck's going on when that's happening. And like stressed and like really stressed out repetitive call. Like, I don't know. So I think Pierce's comms are good. Like, I think that's like better in my opinion. Obviously everyone has their own opinion to that, but I don't know.
I bet you right. Go right, dead.
All right.
I'm getting a barn. I was mid, go in right, mid and right. Alright,
I hear you. How much for my L?
I'm pulling bottom barn. One's going right though.
Hey.
They can go front, nobody has front.
Yeah.
I know.
I think in the back. I'll see in the back.
Yeah, top barn now weak.
Deep in the back already.
Absolute Q1 door.
Yo, back over.
Flip.
River spawns.
On the tree. T3 done.
Yeah, I need
I think pitching P1 at 110.
Hey, bro,
Pin challenge. Chop bar. Down the hill.
I need him, bro. On AC block, fast. Nice.
10 Austin, real quick.
Watch out.
I'm trying to get time. Right over.
Yo, wait, 20 seconds, guys. Do not fucking overplay this.
10, bro. 10.
That's on left.
I need to.
That was a really good comm there.
I need left.
Back up. Be careful, John.
I'm looking mid. What could have got through already?
Yeah, I know. Deep right's open. Good tunnel.
I have left. I'll get to 2 seconds.
You have left? Look first.
They can be top.
Asian could be in the back, guys.
All Mutineers find themselves down in the game.
So really quick, the thing to highlight with their listening was like I think it was Caesar. Was that Caesar's voice? That was like, yo, 20 seconds. Do not fucking overplay this. Like you heard him say that? Like I think that's the turning point in this game because I'm pretty sure we're about to witness Florida make a little comeback here too because they did not overplay that. Like we kind of just saw the mistake at the end of the Seattle game where like they overplayed it and they like 4 invested into P2 and then they lost rotations kind of thing. You know, Caesar invested into his comms. Yeah, dude. Like I think that comm right there potentially could have changed the game. Like let's see what happens from there.
As if the information that's being displayed is
That was really good out of Caesar.
I think it was Skies in particular.
Yeah.
Leading through the communication saying, hey, 20 seconds left. Let's not push this. Let's focus on this next hill. We'll see if
It's like, look what this next hill's leading to.
We'll get that strategy to pay off. 30 seconds there for that LAG list.
And then like you skip through, like look what not overplaying that hill led to. You see what I mean? Love the stream, bro. Thank you so much for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Like, look what that led to. Like a comeback, you know? Like that was huge, dude. That was huge.
Final 10 seconds, but you see the pressure coming in from LAG. They're going to break in, and now with Asim and Hook working their way off the rotations, Hook is going to influence through those spawns of spawn back stables.
Yeah, that was a big 1v1. Hook wins that. He instantly pushes through for those spawns. Now at barn, we'll see if it works out for them, as it will be the Mutineers staring directly into the spawns where LAG continue to spawn on up, but they will continue to keep falling back on down. Mutineers pressuring the back as they've got all the pressure inside of the barn for the moment. Big 1v1 between Vivid, back.
Yeah, dude. Backing up again, sorry.
Spawns in the final 10
Like,
seconds, but it's really
like Florida does a really good job, like right here again. Watch. It's like Florida gets around, like number 2 gets out and pushes around, like watch. Since squad spawns are annoying, but like since number 2 gets out and like, you know, like kind of controls like the middle of the map here and number 6 is on this, they spawn out. Like this flip is like the, you know, the real turning point after that. So like Florida plays it really good from that rotation. They bring a comeback, they flip him into the back, and now again they're in the driver's seat in the sense of like, even though they lose the spawns, like they're in the driver's seat of like having a chance to like win this 1v1 in this hill. Dav Patty wins it, and now they're able to control it again. If they don't flip those spawns and make it fucking mixy, it's very hard for them to get into that hill first and like make it even like a 50-50 fight out of Dav and them, and then the boom. They're able to like control this hill, and again, you don't have the spawn sometimes, but you're in there first, and that's all that really matters. And then again, they end up actually flipping after that. But still, being in the hill first is like what was actually important about that. And that was able because they were able to spawn them out. Now kills are just like, it's tough. Like, you know, yeah, you'd get some kills if you're LAG.
Finds himself on 3 in a row, and after what was a great opener for the Guerrillas, a solid advantage, it's now the Mutineers who are walking away with these final few seconds. LAG, they get the back spawn, and really, if you're Mutineers, you're okay with that potentially. The final 15 is going to still be a battle, but now it's going to be a race over toward Waterside. First player that's going to be there is Gunless. LAG still nearby. It looked like a spawn flip was going to be in, but the Mutineers now on the disadvantageous side for this next hill. We'll see what the Guerrillas can do with
It's a good play out of number 8.
some great numbers so far.
Oh, he loses it though. That's a big, yeah, that's a big play out of number 8. Oh, so they still get it though. Hook trades it. Nice. How did number 4 get there? Oh, does number 4 hits the house? Okay, yeah. And he hops down tunnel. This is a good play out of number 4. Yeah. He's going to be annoying to kill, huh? Yeah.
They've got to be careful in getting seconds in their favor and not allowing for the Mutineers to control.
Number 4 made a big play right there, Vivid.
Takes down Dave.
And right now, Florida, they're just doing a great job of just keeping him off this time. They're putting so much pressure into his back tower. Before Vivid dropped, he was able to pick up a two-piece in their spawn as well. So finally, LAG are able to slow down the game, pick up a couple kills, and able to get on towards this point. They will not be able to take this lead here.
Big kills there. Bringing it back. A P1. We talked about how, like, you don't really want to be on this side of P1 because sometimes you can get fucking trapped. Mutineers skip forward. They got him trapped. They're, like, getting a lot of time on this P1, which is not good. And they still have the P2 spawns, which is obviously scary if you're LAG. Yeah, dude. Oh, big kill at number 6. Wait, how did they lose this? Oh, no. Number 4. Wait, no. Oh, that's tough, bro. That is tough. They don't recognize the tractor spawn, which is a hard, like, it's hard to recognize that. And then, like, look. So, like, 4 dead here. Number 2 gets 1 kill. And then, like, Pierce gives up the back, thinking he's safe. And so right now, like, the way, like, to give you some insight of how this, like, just like in a player's mind. The insight here is this. You think they're probably spawning out all the way because, like, you don't realize that number four like, influences this. This is obviously sometimes hard to read. And, like, the thing that's tough is, like, look, Austin dies and then they get the trade. They don't know exactly where the Florida team is. They're assuming front because of this, like, the spawns can be hard to read in this game. But the thing is, it's like, it's hard to give up the back until Austin spawns and lets you know where they're coming from. So, like, look, right here, if Pierce is holding the back, he potentially kills this guy. But say he's just back here. And soon as Austin spawns here, he should know that maybe one's close to, like, obviously spawning him really far deep. But they also are in the back. You see what I mean? It's very hard to fucking read. Do not get me wrong. This is basically impossible to read. In the moment, just giving you guys a heads up, like, in the moment, this is almost impossible to read. But since number 6, like, gives up the back before Austin spawns, like, you know what I mean? Like, we have no, like, they have no idea where Florida technically is here. This is the hardest thing to do in the middle of a game. Like, getting vanguarded is, yeah, you know, that's probably a proper word. But it's like, it just sucks because, like, they think they're all coming from front so they can focus on it. But, like, right here, like, look, he's pushed all the way out, which is good. Right here, this guy influences a squad spawn tractor. And since they have no one blocking tractor, like, that's possible. And then since they have no one block, which is hard to block tractor in this specific moment. So then, like, look, he gets that kill, but they don't realize that they influenced that. And then, like, since he gives up the back before Slasher spawns in, they have no idea they're in the back until this moment. But even if, like, he doesn't shoot him, right now number 6 and number 5 would be like, oh shit, and turn around. You see what I mean? It's just tough. He peeked it, what? When he gets that kill, he peeks it. That's what I'm saying. Look. He peeks it and then gives it up. And then as soon as he gives it up, like, boom. It's so stupid, dude. It's bad timing. He shoulders it for a second, but as soon as you shoulder and give it up, like, it's just, dude, that's such a shit. That's fucking tough, bro. That's so dumb. Whatever. I'm not gonna, you know, dive deep on my opinion of that, like, you know, the spawns in this game, but, like, it's just, like, tough. Oh, this got bad timing. Yeah, my point of what I'm saying, though, is, like, guys, I understand he got bad timing, and do not get me wrong. Like, this does fucking suck, and I do not agree. Like, you know, I think the spawns can be way better and, like, more traditional, but bad timing happens when you, like, look, Pierce makes a really good play. He's a fucking incredible player. He's holding the back. He gets a kill. His job right now with 4 alive right here, his job is to hold the back. He gets bad timing. But then look, this moment, he wouldn't have gotten bad timing if he slides back to the right again. Obviously, he doesn't read the tractor spawn because it's impossible. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very hard read. I'm not giving him shit here. I'm saying, like, I'm more or less on his side. But, like, he gets bad timing because you don't wait for Slasher to spawn up to know exactly what's happening. That's my point. If he lets Slasher spawn up and he slides back and goes back to right, he runs into this gunfight. You see what I mean? But like they're assuming that Austin's about to spawn right here or back tractor, but probably right here. They're assuming that. But since like you assume in a game like this with how spawns are, like you assume, and it's very possible to assume wrong, and then that happens. That's my point. It's just tough. That's a really hard fucking play. That's very hard to critique. That is very hard to critique now because like hindsight is 20/20 in this game, and like being in the moment, that is very hard to read. But ooh, they gotta rotate though. This is tough. Yeah, that's chalked. Hell yeah, LAG almost still brought it back, but that's just tough, man. Still, LAG played that map well, and we were talking about the vetoes. Like, you know, I don't know what's going on with scrims and stuff, so I'm sure they made the right choice in the vetoes and shit. Like, I was just saying, like, that was the interesting thing to see that Florida was 4-2 in Bocage, and they're pretty good at Bocage, and they played them on Bocage. But that's the Bocage for you, dude. Sometimes it's really fucking tough. And it is what it is. This next S&D, Tuscan. I mean, I'm just gonna skip through it. To be very honest with you, it just looks like LAG right now and S&D just can't get it going. They you know, like their S&D is just not looking very good. And Florida just kind of capitalizes on that, and it is what it is. Like, there's nothing really to talk about. Like, LAG is notoriously right now struggling in S&D, and that's just the story of their team. Like, their S&D right now is 3-8, and after this it's 3-9. That's it. Like, I know what's it called. I know LAG like fucking ends up like bringing this back and shit, but like going in this hole is just like weird for LAG, dude. I know. I know it goes through all this shit, but I'm saying like you can't find yourself in these holes. Like, and I feel like LAG is consistently like just like weird positions in these search. But here, they bring it back. We'll watch it from here. It's just so weird that this LAG team is bad at search because really quick, in my opinion, I think Asim's a pretty good search player. I think Slasher's a very good search player. I think Pierce is a very good search player, and Kyler like has always been pretty good at search too. So like this team being weird at search is fucking weird. I don't know, but here we go. We'll watch these last two. I want to consistently be in holes. Okay, round 11. Really quick though, round 11, they get offense. So this is good for LAG. I like that they're getting control. Austin's trying to get control of the left side. They're not sniping, right? Oh my god, bro.
The opener was right there. Skies felt it. Seem able to stay alive. Knows that Dave still lingers to the flank, to the front side of field, but take a look.
Yeah, he's in the spot.
The flank opportunity for who? But Vivid, he's able to read it. And what could be.
Where is Vivid right now? Is Vivid low? He is low. Okay. Yeah, he was low. I thought he was top or something. I was like, no way. Yeah. So Dave is sniping, yeah. Bro, so really quick though, it's just like being in this situation on offense, like in search is just like so weird, dude. Like I know you don't want to get naded and shit, but like it's just like, yeah, like I feel like, yeah, like eventually Kyler is going to get sniffed out on the flank because this spot that Kyler's in, once you know about it, is like, you know, going to get checked sometimes, right? So like you're like, if you're Florida and you're slowly approaching the flank, you're going to check every goddamn spot knowing the man. You know what I mean? And the whole point of like not checking that spot is when the bomb goes down. So like, since this bomb doesn't go down, These guys have all the time in the world to check this corner, to check that corner, to check this, to check this. Like, are we going to flank? Like, they're making decisions, and you're giving time for Florida to make this defensive plan. And then, like, see what I'm saying? Like, look at all the spots they're checking. And then Vivid just gives it a quick check. Boom. Like, if the bomb is down right now, Vivid potentially either A, doesn't check that spot, they rush it a little bit, or the bomb's down and it's just possible. But now since the bomb's not down, this is tough. And then Daft Patty gets a snipe. And then, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, dude. And then you're fucked. So, like, LAG brings the map back, and that was good for them. And that, you know, like, they bring it back. But, like, I just feel like their SND just, like, looks so weird, dude. Where, like, you fall into that hole, and you can say LAG threw that map. Like, they didn't throw that map. They should, like, you know, that was not their map to win. They went down 5-1. Like, yeah, you bring it back, and, like, you know, you end up not winning. But, like, that's just tough, dude. Like, that quick scope for the 1v2 in round 6 was nasty. What, in this map? We can go back and watch it if you want real quick. In round 6, you said? Is it right here? Yeah, this is round 6. Let's see. It was 1-4, yeah. Watch it real quick. So he dies right here. Nice. Bang. All right. Jesus. Getting mixy. Ooh. That was nasty. That was nasty. That sucks. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, this is just tough. This wasn't LAG's map to win. I don't care what you say. Like, they brought it back to 5-5, and they could obviously won that offense. But like, when you go down 5-1, that is not your map to win. And if you win it, that is a steal. And then the last thing was this control. We talked about controls. Again, what was LAG's stats on control? LAG right now is 3-5 in control. They're 1-2 in Tuscan. They're 2-3. So they're 1-3 in Tuscan now. And they're 2-3 in Gavutu. Good awareness from Dav. Hell yeah, dude. That was just a good play from Dav. That Slasher didn't do anything wrong there. That was a good play from Dav. That was just a clutch play. They kind of get smoked here. Let's see. Let's just like see a little bit of the control, and we're done. You were on just chatting. I am on just chatting. We're just chatting about Call of Duty right now.
It's now to the Mutineers. 2 minutes on the clock. We'll see if they can live up to that #1 attacking record as they will push in toward B.
Oh, well, they're able to find 2 kills right off the rip, so they're eventually able to get on towards this point. Vivid trying to work his way through the back. He's able to eliminate 2 players from that.
It's changed the ticks for round 5. No, it's not. Right now, it's not changed the ticks. It still kills. That won't happen for like a week or 2, Shred. Whack. I agree. I think it is whack. All right, so skip. Here we go. Looks like Florida's just applying just pure pressure in their base. It's like constantly fucking making their pushes split and constantly just being annoying like this shit and stuff. Like, bro, yeah, like Florida's just all over their base and just spawning them everywhere and making it hectic and winning their gunfights. Like right now, it just looks like Florida's just applying pressure and LAG just can't get like their feet under them. Like every time, like right now, it looks like LAG's got their feet under them, and they don't because they know this guy's in the back of the base. Like they've just never like they have just never, you know what I mean? They've just never like been able to like regain and get their fucking side kind of thing. On the flank, someone said the new control format has to be tested first. Well, I mean, the new control format's just not out yet. We can't even test it. I don't think there's a single person in the league right now that would rather play kill-based than tick-based. And even if there is, like, we can't even test the mode because it's not out. Like we're just waiting for it to be out. Like, that's not because, like, players want it not to be out yet. It's literally just because Vanguard's not giving it to us yet. Like, we're just patiently waiting for Vanguard to release the update. It has nothing else to do with anything else. Like, maybe we don't play on the new patch right away when it does come out, but the problem is that it's just not out yet. Like, say if they do come out with that and that goes by ticks and the players are like, whoa, 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 this is not fair. We can technically not go and play that yet, and we can play like the old patch, but we can't even have that decision yet because it's not out. It's just what it is. Like, we're just waiting for Vanguard to release the update. Yeah, dude. They think they have bottom church. Number 4 gets in their base. Oh my god, dude. Telling you, dude, they just have never had like a solid setup, bro. This LAG team has never had a solid setup. Like, even like right here, like, look, they finally get their base control and they think they have middle and they don't, because number 4 sneaks under church. Number 8's playing like a pushed up field setup instead of like playing safe in the back and just like really holding like the deep pinch and like making sure no one gets through. And then number 4 gets through, dude. Yeah, this is fucking brutal, dude. And I'm going to go ahead and say, like, this is not how it always plays out. But if you win a first round offense and it's also in lives in Florida's favor, that is tough. With you know, with how it goes by kills, with how, you know, offenses are harder to win, like, you are in a bad spot if you're LAG right now. Very doable. Of course doable. But that fucking sucks. Like, if, you know, if you're watching this as a fan, you're like, oh no. You know what I mean? You're like, god damn it. And then skipping forward, 23, 25, 24. A little lag. There we go. Solid lag. We love lag. Right? We all love lag.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry. We're back. It's all my fault. So right now, LAG, they are just on the attack, just trying to set up for this control around P5. You have a couple players who are here. One player in Dave Patty who eventually is going to get stiffed out. So now, this opens up top planet. This opens up top radio for LAG to try to find the opening to get off towards this B point.
And also, really quick, just to give you like, since it goes by kills, like, you know, just like something to note. Since LAG just lost an offense, you know how we were just talking about how, like, you know, LAG, like, technically, you know, when we were talking about the Boston Tuscan control, like, should Boston have pushed that, and then they pushed that, they all died, and then like they basically solidified themselves not having that last round control. You know how we were just talking about that earlier in the podcast? Like, look at this scenario. If LAG wins that defense, you know, obviously that's really what you want to do. If they win that defense and the lives are like kind of even, in this scenario, LAG can technically be in the driver's seat because they can make one more push and then like play it slow if they want to and like really worry about that last round defense, just the way like you can kind of like think about kills. LAG's in a great spot if they were able to like not choke that and like get their base control and not leave those lanes open. But now they're not even in a position where they can do that. You know, like, having that defense first is actually really important because then you can kind of control the pace of the game on your next offense, and depending on how you want to play, you get to make that decision. But now they're not in the decision making, like they're not in that seat to make the decision. Like, they're sitting there like, oh shit, dude, like, we kind of have to, if we don't win this, we're probably gonna lose, you know. What should the CDL do instead of a coin flip? I think the coin flip's fine. Personally, I'm a big believer of just don't suck at maps. Like, even for my team, like, the fact that we don't win our Gavutu controls, like, that's like, we're, you know, like, in the beginning of the series, like, we were getting exposed for not winning Gavutu. Like, that's on us. I would never blame a coin flip for that. I don't think the CDL can do anything differently. I think it's fine keeping it even during the qualifiers. The only thing, we just need a third map and a fifth map at Hardpoint and stuff. You know what I mean? We just need an extra map to make it a little bit more fair. So I would rather it be a little bit more fair in the sense of just having more maps. It has nothing to do with the CDL. But at the end of the day, like, you know the cards that are dealt, and you need to make sure your practice is good and you can't suck at maps, period. And if you suck at maps and you can get exposed, that's also on you. You know what I mean? But I think the answer to that is have one more map for more fairness. I don't think the CDL is doing anything wrong, in my opinion, for that. And again, like, dude, LAG's just forced to push this, and they're forced because of the way they played that first round defense, and then they're screwed. And now they go down 0-2. You can bring this back. You can do whatever you want to do, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a really tough win. And then you just fucking skip through this. If I remember correctly, pretty sure this round wasn't anything like, yeah. And then, yeah, so skip through this. They win this. But, like, again, you have a defense coming up. This is just so hard. And this is where you have to clutch up. But the problem is like, even if you clutch up here on a Tuscan, you're probably going to get a last round defense. Like, you're just in such a shitty spot, dude. I wish it went by ticks too. so we can like change the play style a little bit. But I know they get smoked this round. They get absolutely blasted this round, right? Pretty sure like they just get demon trapped like 20 to 11 like or 20 to 9 or something. Isn't it pretty bad? I'm pretty sure they get demon trapped here soon though.
Keep in mind, they were able to at least outslay by a couple kills in that previous round. So Florida should be leading in the kill department by at least 2 of the 3 kills. So the early aggression coming in, Florida able to shut down that pressure towards that A point. They're finding every single kill in the feed. So now if you're LAG, you have to try to work out of your spawn. But
yeah, like right here.
So much pressure on, they're not allowing any players any.
Pretty sure it's like right here.
Oh, and Vivid's got dead silence on. He is flying. He is flying as well. Takes down Gunless Awakening. Also finds Slasher 3.
Yeah, dude, this is just a demon trap, dude. Look at this. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. This is just not good.
He is manipulating every piece on this chessboard of Tuscan as Skies will earn the glide that are
Yeah.
performing in Stitcher. That A objective.
This is over.
They're going to be depleted.
Even if you somehow win this, you're getting the defense again. Like, you're not winning defense. You're not winning 2 offenses in a row, in my opinion. Even if you somehow pulled this out LAG, which you're not going to. It's fucking chalked.
Mutineers do not want to give away this objective, and Skies will not allow for them to. 35 on the clock, and the Guerrillas cannot even break out of their base.
A little bit of lag again.
My goodness.
There you go.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
20 to 9, dude.
20 to
That
9
is nuts.
remaining, as 24 seconds is eventually going to come to a stop.
LAG didn't invest.
With 6 lives remaining, are able to get onto a safe point. But this is where the glide comes in. If you are Skies, you
That's
want to
just
find
tough,
that
dude.
card with
Yeah.
Could be a
17 to 1, bro.
them fall in stride.
So yeah, obviously those are the 3 matches for LAG. That first hard point was really important in that series, in my opinion. I didn't like the Bocage pick when we were talking about it, but at the same time, you never know what goes into veto, so you can never be too critical about that. And then so that Bocage doesn't go in their favor when it could have went. We saw the turning points of that. I think that's what like decided the series, even though they could have brought it back on that surge. Going down 5-1, that wasn't their map to win anyway. But yeah, dude, that in the first round of that control, like, I don't know. I saw something. We'll talk about this. I saw something. I think Slasher tweeted yesterday, like that they, he can't find a rhythm, and like not even that though. Like they're not sticking to a game plan. That's like a really tough thing to deal with. Like I don't think this LAG team is as bad as like they're looking in matches right now. But if like what Slasher is saying is actually true, like if they're not sticking to the game plan that they're creating in practice, then like their matches are gonna look really shitty, and then like things are gonna get thrown like out of rotation and shit. So like there's probably some stuff that like they're just not doing that they do in practice, and it's like leading to them playing really bad in matches. They got to fix it fucking fast because this league is so competitive and stuff. So, that's no excuse. But they're still, in my opinion, I still have some faith in their roster in the sense of like bringing it back. They have a really talented roster. They have good players. This Florida team's also just a scary team, like they're really good. Like they can slay with the best. They can get the kills with the best. And when they do that, like you got to make sure you're on your point, like on point. So I don't know. This was a tough series. I thought this was going to be a little bit closer because I personally thought we were going to see Gavutu map 1. And but I guess like depending on like how LAG's thought process was, they wanted to play Bocage and instead of that. So like that was tough. I thought we were gonna see a Gavutu Berlin Hardpoint. I thought that might have favored LAG a little bit, and then like that's what was gonna kind of swing them in the series, and it doesn't. So GG. I mean, there's still a lot to work with. Florida looks good. That's a if you're a Mutineers fan, that looked really good. Like I'm not sure, If that's a if you're a Mutineers fan, that they looked good. Like they looked like they were like like playing pretty well. They looked organized, and that's a big step for them. So that was good matches to watch. Now that we're done with the matches, we can just do match predictions for today, and then call it. We did this one. This was a really long episode. I know you guys like always say like long episodes are fine. So I hope you guys enjoy this. But tomorrow we have to speed it up a little bit because there's 4 matches, so I can't do a 3-hour episode. So we definitely got to speed it up tomorrow a little bit, but I figured we can do like 2.5 hours here just because it's easy. All right. 1 second. Okay. Did you see the Mutineers Twitter dunking on LAG? I thought that was like the Lions dunking on the Jets. The Mutineers Twitter is really, really funny. They got some funny social media guys over there. Like when they're like whoever's running their social medias are really good at it. I feel like they have some funny shit talk and banter. Okay. All right, matches. Week 1 qualifiers Saturday. Here we go. We got Atlanta FaZe is playing, which is dope. And we'll talk about all these matches here. So what do you guys think? Paris Legion versus LAG. What do we think here? We just watched LAG. We just saw that, Paris Legion now has Jimbo, right? Paris Legion is in a honeymoon phase. They are obviously hungry to prove that their roster is now a team that can win. They're gonna be super excited to play there. So I think momentum right now is in Paris's favor. And then you have LAG over here on the sense of they can't stick to a game plan. They obviously seem to be frustrated on Twitter and yada yada yada. Like, what do you think here? Low-key Paris 3-2. Think Paris wins easy? Jimbo's gonna fry today. I love LAG, but I want them to lose, so they will make a change. Interesting. Honeymoon phase, Paris 3-2. I think right now, with Paris being a new team in the sense of a new roster, I don't know what the vetoes are going to be. I definitely think Paris seemed to like Bocage beforehand. I'm pretty sure we can go see that really quick. Before Paris had Jimbo and Gravity, they seemed to like Bocage, right? Oh, they were 1-2 on Bocage, but no, sorry, they were 1-4 on Bocage. So yeah, they played it a lot. They weren't winning it a lot, but they played it a lot. They were comfortable on it. So I'm assuming we're going to see another Bocage if LAG lets that in. I think with Jimbo and Gravity, their Bocage is actually going to be a little bit more lethal. So I think Paris might be in a pretty good spot in this match, especially if they're riding the momentum and they're at the high of a new team honeymoon phase. And, this is a big test for LAG. LAG didn't have the hot major, that they wanted to. They played pretty bad. They weren't happy about it. And then they obviously come into this online match immediately and they get 3-1 by Florida. Or sorry, 3-0 by Florida. LAG is this is a big bounce back series for them. They need this. I personally think I'm favoring Paris in this just because I think Paris has got a little momentum. I think LAG is struggling. I think with Jimbo and Gravity, I think they're, feeling really good, feeling really confident. I'm going to personally say I think Paris's honeymoon phase is going to be good for them here. I think this could be a close series, but I don't know. We'll see. They need to bounce back though. So I'm giving the favor to Paris in my opinion. That's what we're going for. London, and this is a match I would have loved to see if London didn't have their fill-in. Even with London having their fill-in, they're really, really good. Paulex is a good fill-in, and they played well yesterday, But I would have loved to see this with Gizmo. But what are you guys thinking here? You think it's LA Thieves? LA Thieves 3-2 round 11? Ooh, okay. LA Thieves wins all the respawns, lose SND. Thieves 3-1. 3-1 London wins SND. 3-2 LA. So a lot of you guys are thinking Thieves. Yeah, I'm gonna say I think Thieves looks really, really good still. They obviously lost to us the major in a close series. That was obviously an incredible series. And we ended up taking that. They got 6th, but Thieves is still fucking nasty. And I think they know that. I think the community knows that. I don't think anyone really thinks otherwise. London looks really good, but since they don't have Gizmo, and even though Paul's a good fill-in, I think Thieves is gonna, have the advantage here in the respawn specifically too. And even with a fill-in, they actually might have more of a, chance in the sense of that search too to take it. So I personally think Thieves is gonna win this. This could be a close game still. I wouldn't count the Ravens out just because they could still be a very good team with Paulex because he was playing well. I just think the Thieves are a really, really respawn heavy team and they're really, really good at it. Just watching them play Hardpoint is honestly a work of art sometimes. So this is a tough team to play against if you don't have your full team and weeks of practice and stuff. So this is going to be tough for London, possible, but I think Thieves are going to win this personally. Now here's a matchup that is fun to talk. So I'm going Paris Thieves right now. I don't know what is going to go on here with Rocker and Ultra. So, Ultra is a dangerous team. They got top 4 without winning Hardpoint. They're a dangerous fucking team. We all know this. Everyone knows Toronto Ultra. Does Ultra bounce back and win Hardpoint here? Because if they do, this is tough. Because Minnesota Rocker has been struggling. They just made, is Attach in here? Why are we all saying Attach? Is Attach in here? Am I missing something? Or are we just cheering on Attach because we love him? No, we just want him to win? Okay. Yeah, we're cool with that. We love Attach here. Touch is a man. Well, he carried me to a world championship. We like that guy. But okay. They go through a role change. So, historically speaking, Rocker's not good at respawn right now, and they're really good at search and destroy. Toronto, not winning hardpoint, very good at search and destroy. With that being said, these two teams are a weird matchup. Rocker makes this role switch. Do they get better at respawn? Toronto Ultra is just Toronto Ultra. They're good at respawn, so they should probably be able to bounce back. What do you guys think, dude? Like, this is going to be tough. So, we weren't really going through stats for this one. You know how they do like the marquee matchup or whatever? This is the crowd matchup right here. This is the series of the day that I'm highlighting. I'd never talk about my series just because, you know, obviously I talk to you guys as like a Call of Duty fan in this podcast, but at the same time, I also, you know, I am the FaZe coach, so I'm technically biased. So we don't really talk about our predictions here. But this is the crowd matchup right here. This is the crowd matchup, the main one we want to focus on. So Rocker, you go here. Rocker's respawn modes completely changed here with this role switch. So you can't take these too seriously because, you know, that role switch could have completely changed how they play. They're 0-3 on Bocage. They're 2-2 on Berlin. They're 2-1 in Gavutu. And they're 0-3 in Tuscan. So 0-3 in Tuscan, 0-3 in Bocage. Okay. 1 second. Toronto. Here we go. They're 3-3, 3-4, 1-3, and 1-2. So you got to think, in my opinion, I think Rocker probably get rid of Tuscan or Bocage. I probably think they get rid of Bocage, considering they probably, like, you know, both teams aren't the strongest Tuscan team. Statistically. You know, this is very, very, very brief. We don't know everything else. We always talk about this. Always throw that disclaimer out there. So I think they get rid of Bocage. But then I think Toronto responds, and they get rid of probably Gavutu. Right? Because Toronto is 1-3 in Gavutu. So you're going to get a Berlin and you're going to get a Tuscan. That looks like it favors, like, a little bit on Ultra's favor. But again, we don't know how Minnesota's playing with this new role change. So this is going to be tough. I think in the sense of controls, Minnesota's 2-6 in control. And Toronto Ultra is 7-5. If you're playing Toronto Ultra, you probably want to try and get Tuscan to have more of a chance. In the sense, like, it looks like these guys play Tuscan more. They're a little bit more comfortable on Tuscan, and they're 1-2 on Gavutu. So, like, Team A could be pretty important for Rocker to have more of a chance in that control, specifically playing that Tuscan, right? So, like, the Team A, Team B thing will be a pretty important one in this series. I think it gives Rocker, like, more of an edge in the control to, like, you know, have a map that's, like, a little bit more comfortable on and with the respawns. If you're Rocker, you want to have the most comfortable respawns you can play in this series because both teams are disgusting at S&D. And with both teams being good at S&D, like, the respawns are going to be really big. So, I don't know. Trying to think, like, poof, man. If Minnesota got any better at respawn, this is going to be a tough match because both teams are really good at search. Do I like the role swap? I love the role swap. I love the role swap of Minnesota. I think right now this role swap of Minnesota is like the role swap they needed to make. And now if it doesn't work after this role swap, then I think like the next thing is like a roster change. But I don't think they need. I think this team is talented, and I think they can make a run with this. So I'm not saying they need a roster change at all, or they're even close to that. That would be like the next step. I don't think any more role swaps would help out. I think this is the main role swap they need to keep, in my opinion. So, dude, does Rocker get any better at respawn with this role swap and match against a team like Ultra? I'm locked in Paris. I'm locked in Thieves. What do you guys think? Rocker 3-0. Attachment have a 1.4 in Hardpoint. Rocker takes both Hardpoints, but Ultra 2-3-5 them. You think Rocker loses a 2-3-5 series? I feel like that's crazy to say that they're going to lose both searches. I feel like it goes 1-1 in search. I feel like there's more of a chance it goes 1-1 in search. And then, like, I think the control is going to be a really big deciding factor between these teams. But I don't know. I'm going Ultra. I think Rocker is going to be really good. I think the role switch just happened. I haven't seen them really, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We haven't seen their role switch in a match yet. I think I'm going Ultra. But I'm super excited to watch this series. This is like, you know, the main series I want to watch today. Obviously outside of my fucking series, you know what I mean? Like the main series I want to watch out of these three, it's like this one right here. And then, so I think I'm going Paris, Thieves, Ultra, and obviously, you know, FaZe for me. And this would be FaZe versus Seattle. We are the last match of the day. So you guys can make your own predictions if you guys want about that one. But, yeah. So that's what we're locking in. Yesterday we were 3-0 on the predictions. You know, you never know with these predictions. You never know what the fuck happens. Some days we have good days and bad days. But I think I'm going Paris, Thieves, Ultra. I'm super excited for this match. I'm super excited to see how Rocker plays with this role swap. I think the control is very important. Yeah. Yeah, that was a 2-hour and 26-minute episode for 3 matches. That was pretty long and in depth. Yes, tomorrow we're going to have to speed through some of these matches. They keep it around a 2-hour episode again, even though there's 4 matches to talk about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, we have a lot of fun here. We're going to be doing a lot of these breakdowns again. What do you guys think of this episode, chat? Did we like it? I feel like that was pretty good. You know, I feel like that was good. We had some good talks. Right? You guys like this? We're all good? Fantastic. W. All right, yeah, perfect. I'm glad you guys liked it. Yeah, that was fun. We talked about those matches. I used the 3-match day to go a little bit more like, you know, longer talks about some of the key moments in these matches just because we can. We don't have a 4th match to do. So I figured we can go a little bit longer on some of these like just talks that we were having, some of the key moments of these games. That's why this episode was a little bit longer. But, you know, I used to apologize for long episodes, but you guys seem to fucking love them. So I guess we're good. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I promise you this is coming out on Spotify soon too. That's the next thing, is to start producing this podcast a little bit more professionally, but we'll get there eventually. I love you guys. All right.